back to you.
Hey, baby, it's juice time. It's OJ time. Apple juice. I don't care what you're sipping on, baby. It's juice time. Hold on, Rod. That's a little bit exclusive, man. Let's switch it back up. There we go, baby. Now we in the right way. We in the right space. We here, man. It's Tuesday morning, week 1, first time of 2025 that the NFL has actually kicked off, man. It's real stats, real numbers, real film, real games, and real excitement going on, Rock. And I'm gonna tell you, man, it was a great weekend for football. I took off work to enjoy some football, and I can't say that I enjoyed my time off, man. So, hey, how you feeling? How you doing? And you looking good, Playboy. What's good with you, dog?
You're looking good too, Fizz. I don't have any bling like you do. I don't have the ice around my neck. I got to up my game up.
You got juice, baby. You got juice. Do your thing.
I appreciate that. This morning, actually, just on a little personal note, me and the wife, we closed in on a lot. You ain't no man unless you got land. So we celebrated, went to McDonald's afterwards, just like Joe Flacco. So feeling
Like
pretty
that.
excited, feeling pretty good, man. But it's week 1, and I'm excited to be on the show with you and with the people. We got our show sheet. It's busting at the seams, Fizz. We got too much shit. It's going to be tough for us to stay under 2 hours, but we have a lot to share with the people this morning. So I'm excited.
We do. Well, first of all, bro, we won't skip what you just said, man. I like that line right there, man. You ain't a man till you got land. That was one of them bars right there, bro. Hold up. I like that one, man. But kudos to you, my brother. I know you've been trying, you've been working hard. And hey, man, it's time to get that house built and get it cracking, baby. So I like to hear that, man. Great news all around the world, man, and especially in the NFL. And Rock, man, I'm not gonna lie, I was texting you back and forth last night, and I said, bro, this game. First, at the beginning, it was like, and I shout out to my boy Adam. I gotta call him out though. Adam texted me and said, hey, you might want to check on your boy Thor right now because it ain't looking good. And literally 5 minutes later, JJ came and turned it up on him. So ATM, man, I gotta call you out on that one, brother. Because I text him, I said, what I text you, Rock? Be water. Just be water, brother. Don't worry about it. You know what I'm saying? So don't give up. I saw the Discord going crazy. JJ's trash. I knew it, man. Slow down, man. Turn that volume down, baby. So we will get into that, man. But well, you know what? We want to let a little bit of people sprinkle in, Rock, because I see they taking their time, but it's all good. Let's get into last night's events, and then we'll holler at the people. I will just say, going into the game, I know it was JJ's first game. The lights was big. He was in Chicago, which is never an easy place to play. They got a solid defense, a solid offense. So I didn't expect JJ to light the world on fire, especially coming out of the gate. I'm also wanted to see what Caleb was going to do, already having a year under his belt, having Ben Johnson there, just scheming things up. And I'm going to be honest, Rob, my biggest take from the Chicago side was that boy Caleb could scramble, man. I don't know if people forgot or whatever, but Caleb was out there looking like Kyrie Irving, man, with the ball. He was, you know what I'm saying?
People forgot because he had 0 rushing touchdowns. But what was the one thing that we brought up multiple times this offseason? Look out for his rushing ability because he had over 20 rushing touchdowns at USC. So I was very, very happy to see that in particular, his rushing ability.
Yeah, I mean, but not even just the fact that how many yards he got in total, but how he avoided sacks. Because behind that line of scrimmage, Rock, he was going 20 yards behind. And I'm thinking, no, like this is the worst thing you can do. But he was shaking and moving, man. So kudos to Kyler, man. I mean, Caleb, and he made, I believe, DeAndre Swift more valuable by doing that. Because when the coverage was kind of like locked in on DJ Moore and Rome, a lot of his biggest plays came from him just scrambling. As much as I love Ben Johnson and what he does, I think the off-season hype about or talk about Caleb isn't a Ben Johnson type of quarterback because he's not going to sit in the pocket and he's not going to Jared Goff in a sense. Caleb looked like, bro, he was just creating plays on his own. Like Rome coming across the middle. Hey, go this way, boom. DeAndre Swift, hey, scoot up some, boom. You know what I'm saying? Like, no knock on Ben Johnson, but this is a Caleb Williams that I thought last year. I knew he wasn't going to have because of the overhead, but just seeing what he did last night, man, really refreshes my mind and to say, I love Ben Johnson, But I think Caleb right now was coming into his own and commanding his own respect in this game. So shout out to Caleb, man, on that tip. Any more takes on Caleb or how the offense look before we get to the Minnesota Vikings?
Well, I think that when you were talking about Caleb Williams making DeAndre Swift look good, I think he needs a lot of duct tape and Elmer's glue to make DeAndre Swift look good, because I don't remember seeing in the entire time I was watching the game. I mean, just take it for what it's worth. I was at my favorite wing place, so my attention was distracted between eating my wings, also watching the what's it called, Basketball Hall of Fame. Was on the other TV next door to it. And so I was watching Dwight Howard get inducted in. There were some good players that got inducted to the Hall of Fame last night. But I say that all to say, I don't remember seeing a single run with DeAndre Swift. I felt like every play was a pass. So I want to see Ben Johnson have more of a balanced attack. But you know what? That's just Brian Flores and that Minnesota defense dictating things.
Yep.
I do have some different historical stats from this game. I'm not sure if you want to get into it now or get into that in a different segment in the show.
Well, I'll just say this. Let's get into the Minnesota Vikings, and then we'll get into the stats. I'll just say with the Bears side, though, Caleb he actually led the team in rushing. So he had 58 yards. Swift, unfortunately, you missed him. Well, fortunately, you missed him because he didn't do anything with him. But I'm just saying he had a lot of attempts, a lot of chances, right? He had 17 rushes, 53 yards, no touchdown. And Swift also had 3 receptions. So he was Swifty, but he wasn't Taylor Swift. You feel me? So, but I will say the look on the Bears side overall, though, Rock, I like the offense. I just think last night, JJ coming out party came late, man, but he showed up, bro. And I think the Bears blew it almost like another team where we'll get into. But the Bears blew a chance to really take this one home and solidify that we here to run in north. And Rome got a solid game, six receptions for 37, but he had a late touchdown. And even the catches, that catch on the sideline where he caught it and dragged his feet, and just looking at plays like that. One thing that I did notice, I don't know if you saw this, Rock, DJ Moore, he ran the ball 3 times out of the backfield. Like he was lined up at the back. So this is a Ben Johnson thing, I'm guessing. Like maybe he warming up for some play action down the field at some point.
He was doing that in training camp. I remember there was one game or one practice or day in particular where DeAndre Swift was like the RB1.
Yeah.
So I do love that DJ Moore was being utilized a lot more in this game. He also had that critical, could have been late touchdown with what was it, 3 minutes left or inside 3 minutes left that could have made the game a lot closer, and Caleb Williams missed them.
Yeah.
Fortunately. And then the very next play, both him and Caleb Williams both got destroyed.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, they just lost their whole offense in one play.
Yeah, they almost lost the whole offense in one play.
But DJ Moore was out there the very next play after that because I guess they just had enough time. But before we get too much into it, because I'm feeling our energy, I'm feeling our excitement,
there we go.
I want us to take a break or just a breath and just shout out the people. We got enough people in right now. So before we get to all these stats,
to close out on the what's the name, because I did want to bring this up before we left. I did remind you all last year he was going to break out, and he didn't. But last night I had to text you, Cole Kmet, baby, 31-yard reception. That's all I had to say. Give my boy his flowers. I was happy because I bought some shares and I did nothing with him. So Cole Kmet, shout out to you. And man, I just had to get that out of the way, man. All right, so but we are here, man. Shout out to the people, as my boy Rock reminded me, and my boy Red is in the building. Shout out Red with that dope profile pic, man. That's a fire pic, man. I actually like that. How you got that put together, bro. We got D-Walk in the building, man, always. My boy 6 Rings up in here. He a little salty about his Pats, man. But it could be worse, like he said. And, of course, you got to throw out the Cowboys out. Come on, man. You always got to throw my team out, brother. Worry about yours, all right? Red was good again. Cam in here, man. Cam reminds you, said, gentlemen, I did it. He said he just moved. Bill, move Bill for a 27 first. Ooh, sheesh. Oh man, I gotta start this one. We gotta talk about this one later, right there, Cam. That's some big news right there, bro. Soggy is in the building. My boy Eric Bryan, he said, what up with the cut up? Hey man, we in the building, big dog. So everybody else sprinkle in, Rock. Let's get into JJ McCarthy and these Minnesota Vikings, because man, I tell you, when I watched the game, we all rooting for JJ. You know, we want to see him do his thing. It was a rough, outing, and a lot of Justin Jefferson people was sitting there like, man, I got to deal with this for another 18 weeks. I'm sure if you
I
had
was
JJ,
scared.
this was the
Yeah.
JJ, the Spider-Man meme. They both look bad. JJ and JJ, like, what's going on here, bro?
Yeah, I had in my underdog leagues, Fizz, the most shares at QB was JJ McCarthy for me. So I was definitely the first half of the game with Justin Jefferson. I believe only had like one target or one catch.
Yeah,
it was after that pick six too. Oh my god, it was looking kind of rough. So yeah, that was an amazing turnaround. Here's a couple of stats just about JJ McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
McCarthy became the first QB ever in NFL history to record 3 touchdowns in the fourth quarter during his debut. He had 2 passing, 1 rushing. He also joined the likes of Cam Newton as the first rookie to post multiple passing touchdowns and a rushing touchdown in their first game. According to ESPN and NFL, McCarthy's comeback effort, 11-point deficit in the fourth quarter, was the largest rally by a QB in their debut since Steve Young almost 40 years ago.
Okay. Ooh. Bring them out, man. We hyping them up now. Let's go.
Yeah. After allowing 17 points, the Minnesota's defense stopped the Bears on 6 consecutive third down attempts, which is what kept the comeback alive.
Yep.
The Bears had a 94.2% chance to win late in the game. 94.2% chance. And the last stat I had, the 59-yard field goal by Will Reichert was it tied the record for the longest field goal ever at Soldier Field.
In Soldier Field, yeah. And it's so funny, Rob. I'm in 2 leagues and still have kickers, and I picked Reichert up over the offseason. I had to lock it in, brother. Monday night surprise. Remember, I tell you, if you got to bet on somebody, you go with the late game and bet on it. And I took Reichert just because they play on Monday night, and it's a nice offense. So shout out to those stats, man. JJ sound like the coming out party is here. And Rock, I wanted to bring this up because I brought this up, I believe, during our draft one time. And you kind of looked at me. I'm going to find this clip. And I said, you said, I think I said something about Jordan Mason and Aaron Jones. And I think I talked about who would be the most consistent and who will have the bigger plays or bigger games in value each week. And last night, Jordan Mason, 68 yards rushing, 15 attempts. Aaron Jones, 8 attempts, but he had the receptions with the 44 yards and the touchdown. So
the touchdown was awesome. That's what kind of swung everything back their way.
And I think when I was saying that back then, I was saying what happened last night. Like, I believe they want Mason to actually be their running back, but they want Aaron Jones to be that big play down the field, catch the passes. You still gonna run the ball, but we need you when it really count for our young rookie. And last night proved everything of exactly what I was thinking was going to happen with this offense.
It's a dynamic duo in Minnesota. I know some people were kind of down on Jordan Mason during the start show. I had to go to bat for Jordan Mason, man. And I'm glad that he came through.
It wasn't the breakout game, but it was enough to show you that you got something to look forward to. You know what I'm saying? Set 15 rushes, 68 yards, 4.5 per carry. It was something to say, okay, I can work with this. Because the Bears defense was striking, bro. It wasn't like you was going to run 100 yards on them anyway. You know what I'm saying? But JJ, man, like I said, great game, 143 yards. It wasn't nothing that was going to blow your mind, but he had 3 touchdowns, and he came through when it mattered. And he saved us all with the Justin Jefferson touchdown, man. So
is it just me, or when he throws the ball, it looks like he's throwing like all of his heart and his soul into every pass? Like it's the last pass he's ever going to make in his life.
He's throwing heaters. I'm going to tell you, thankfully they play in the dome, but if they go to Chicago late in the season again, no, they always in Chicago. So if they play somewhere like Green Bay or somewhere in December, it's gonna be some broken fingers out there, man. You can guarantee and believe that, man. So, and I saw that they had benched C6 range.
Roshan.
Yeah, they benched Roshan, man. So I guess they saying this ain't our guy. We ain't draft him. So yeah, it is what it is.
I'm pretty happy with the last picks of a few of my underdog drafts. I picked up Kyle Monangai because I had a feeling they didn't say anything good about Roshan Johnson at all during the whole season, but to be a healthy scratch.
That was tough.
That was pretty wild. Wild. But Kyle Monangai didn't do anything with it. So
he didn't.
There was no Bears rushing attack whatsoever.
Well, again, bro, that last night I think it it wasn't an ugly game, but you could tell the teams like Baltimore and the Bills, who actually are already solidified, they don't need no practice. They just need to go out there and play. And you could tell the teams like the Bears and the Minnesota Vikings and other teams that kind of took a long time to warm up and then they got going. So shout out my boy, man, Dustin in here. He said, good morning. We appreciate you, big dog. Been a while, man. Glad to see you. And Pops, you looking forward for Thursday already. I'm just remind you that Micah Parsons is playing against you guys on Thursday. So remember that the defense that we will talk about, right? We will get to that defense. And hey, man, last night was a heater. It's time to really get it cracking, really get it started, man. So for those that's here, for those that's not here, we appreciate you. We love that you're tapping in. Let's get this show started.
Hey, they wrote me off, I ain't write them back. Nah. Follow me, but don't double tap. I ain't liking that. You subscribe, I monetize. Now who's striking that? Wanna see the contract? Who got the rights to that? This my story, I spent my whole life on life. Time's up. Shador Sanders with the rollie in the armor. I could do this shit with my eyes closed. The main attraction don't come at me with no side show. I'm selling high, they wanna buy low.
Yes, sir. Just like that, man. And hey, it is week 1, Rock. You feel me? We here, man. We've been waiting all year for this, man. We finally got something to look forward to. All this make-believe, yippity yap, or this, I don't know what it is, Rock, but I'm so happy that we finally here. We got something to actually put feet to water to and actually, criticize and emphasize and show love to a lot of these people that we've been hyping up and talking down on. But starting off early, Rock, what you about to say, bro?
I was just about to say, this is mainly between you and me. I just love the flow of our show so far. Just the beginning with the first 15 minutes, it feels like the players running out of the tunnel. Just with our introduction. And then that right there with that intro, I was putting my hand over my heart. That's our national anthem right there. That gets me so hyped up. So I just really like what we're doing. So
there we go, big dog. Let's go, baby. You know how we get down, man. So, we will start off right with some bad news, and I don't know if you want to do it, you want me to do it, but the latest news, man. You give us the latest news. Let us know what's going on. We got some injuries. It ain't looking real good over there in the Bay Area. They might need to call E40 and Ghost Ride the Whip over there. I don't know, but let me know what's popping in for you, San Fran and this Worthy guy and all these other guys, man. Let me know what's good, brother.
So San Francisco, one of my favorite teams, some of my favorite players in the entire NFL. It was looking good with CMC out there. I think he had some of the most touches in the NFL for RBs in week 1. The Fizz, everything else.
Entire offense, bro. He was entire. I think he only threw the ball to 2 receivers. Literally 2 receivers.
It was everything else, though, unfortunately, was very rough. Brock Purdy got hurt with both a shoulder and a toe injury. The toe apparently is a lot more significant than the shoulder injury, but at one point they were saying that he couldn't even raise his arm. So Brock Purdy, he is on one of my juggernaut teams. I'm very thin at QB. It's just him and Hurts. And
Hurts to be Purdy, baby.
Exactly. So I might have to be trading for a QB this upcoming week just to keep my championship hopes alive.
Yeah.
We'll see if he plays. But the real one that's going to be really tough, my starting tight end also on this team, the stack, George Kittle. He's going to be out 3 to 5 weeks, Fizz, which is very tough on a team that basically only has now Ricky Pearsall and CMC as their only viable weapons. I know that they just picked up, Kendrick Bourne out of New England. So he's back with his original team. They're going to need him because Jawan Jennings is also getting, I think the MRI came back clean, but the CT scan, we have no idea. So I'll have to ask my dad if he can read his case, break down all the medical jargon. He'd be like, "Oh yeah, I think he'll be back for this week." So I'll have to give my dad a call at the Cleveland Clinic. Yeah. So those are, you don't want to hear that for a team, Fizz, that had the easiest schedule going into the NFL season. So I was very hopeful for the 49ers. But yeah, we can't have everything we want, Fizz.
We definitely can. We also, man, that boy Xavier Worthy, man. Breaking news for those that didn't hear, man. Shoulder. Travis Kelce literally just said,
"What's with all this friendly fire in Kansas City?"
Hey, Rock, I wanted to clip this, but I ain't had the time. Did you see the video of Taylor Swift and Kelce on the Kelce show?
No, I didn't see it.
So she recently appeared on their show, right? And they had a segment where she was like, and I was there in the house during the draft, and I said, "Oh my God, we drafted Xavier Worthy." And she said, "I was running around the house," and then Travis Kelce laughed and looked at her, right? So you know how people edit stuff, so they got this like long pause of him looking at her, like, "Oh, you like her?
Like there's something
Xavier
else
Worthy,
there."
huh?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let me knock him out in 3 minutes. So it was basically, since my girl like Xavier Worthy, we ain't got time for this. I got to knock him out, man. So as soon as he come across the middle,
gone.
Hey, Rob, I'm not gonna lie. He hit Worthy like a linebacker, bro. And he didn't even do it on purpose, but it's just Worthy like 150 pounds soaking wet. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
So long story short, I'm hearing though, it's no timeline on this, Rob. I'm hearing 4 weeks. I'm hearing 8 weeks. It could be the season, bro.
It depends on if he gets surgery or not. From what I've heard as well from people who are not doctors, Fizz, is that it's going to be like a month if he plays through it. Where he can be out without surgery. If he does get surgery, he can be out the whole season, which is what you don't want to hear.
Exactly.
If you only have now Travis Kelce, and now Hollywood Brown is getting 14 targets and 99 yards. So it's just like you got Tyquan Thornton.
Juju Smith-Schuster won't die, man. He keep coming back, man. He won't.
And they need
away.
him too. They absolutely need him. But this is the time, if you're going to miss out on Worthy during the time that Rashee Rice is going to be suspended, you might as well just start sending what you can for Rashee Rice, because they're going to be so desperate on offense. And yet, going up against one of the best defenses in the NFL, Fizz, they still put up points. Patrick Mahomes still looks like what we expected from him, where he was going to come out with more urgency. He was going to be on his revenge tour. And now everything has just gotten way harder for him. Now having only Travis Kelce and Hollywood Brown to throw to. So it's going to be tough. Do not send too much for Hollywood Brown. I'm afraid that he's going to have one blow-up game like he did. And then
his shoulder might go out next week, bro. His shoulder might go out next week.
He might get hurt next week. Pacheco, he played like dog shit. Kareem Hunt got all the valuable touches on short yardage situations, goal line situations. I feel like he's unstarable, Pacheco, which is very unfortunate. It's a tough situation for Kansas City, man. It
is. Shout out my boy B, man, for being in the building. But I will say this though, Rob. I look at it like the Kansas City Chiefs need help. We know they need help. The way it's looking right now, this Pat Mahomes 4,000 comeback MVP season, he can still get it because they're going to be losing games. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's going to be an ugly MVP effort, almost like Joe Burrow, what he went through, like losing games but putting up numbers. The problem is he don't have Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and all these other guys around him to kind of, fill in the void of missing Rice. Because this is one thing about this too, Rob. Rice is missing 6 games. Who's to say week 7 he's going to come back and be 100% ready for gameplay? You know what I'm saying? Like,
because he needs to be. He needs to be, and he can do a lot with a little. That's the nice thing about Rice.
He's explosive, needed, bro. He is needed like no other. But I just say all this to say, people sleeping on this Chargers team though. I don't think if the Chiefs had Xavier Worthy, that we could just lock in and say they would have won that game. This Chargers team was locked in, ready to go, man. And Jim Harbaugh to me is just the ultimate players coach. He looked at Herbert. He looked at, even when Hampton ran out of bounds. Remember when he ran out of bounds and stopped the clock? They came back in first play when they ran the ball. Hampton get the ball. He didn't say, "Oh, rookie, I'm gonna show you something." He just said, "You my guy. Don't worry about it." They even had Marshawn Lynch on the sideline talking to him with the photography stuff on. So I just think the Chargers, the people misunderstood that. Yes, the Chiefs lost, but the Chargers won. Don't take that away from them either. You know what I'm saying?
Because there are Brazilian kids that think that Quentin Johnston is the best wide receiver in the NFL after seeing him go out there. He got 79 yards, 2 touchdowns. Justin Herbert, like we thought that, we didn't know, Fizz, if this was going to be a heavy rushing attack with Amari and Hampton.
Yeah.
We didn't know if they were going to be carrying on from what they did last year with being pass happy with Ladd McConkey. And it looks like this team is just going to be balanced. They're going to do whatever they want. They're going to dictate on either side of the ball. And they're going to be incredibly tough to beat, especially with that defense. I'm pretty excited for the Chargers this season. And if you did buy into Justin Herbert, who was one of the lowest QBs, he was getting drafted around CJ Stroud, Trevor Lawrence, and underdog. It looks pretty good in week 1. Also, shout out to Keenan Allen. He had 10 targets, 68 yards. He had a clean touchdown in the back of the end zone.
I wish he never left the Chargers, bro. I wish he didn't go to the Bears. I wish he would have just said, listen, I'll take the discount and stay where I'm at. Because I think he still had a solid season last year, but he had no right being in the Chicago Bears jersey, bro. He is LA. He should have been there, man.
But Fizz, sometimes you got to go to the valley of darkness before you can enjoy
I know.
The mountaintop. And he looked happy as hell in that post-game conference or interview afterwards. He's happy to be back. It's how you finish. It's not how, whatever different journeys and routes you go through. So happy to see Keenan Allen back with the Bolts.
Yeah, for sure, bro. For sure. And of course, before we get to your team and one of the biggest games of the week, prime time real estate, let's get to this week 1, man, the number 1 game. We never talked about that. I know me and Mike spoke on it, but Cowboys and the Eagles, man. That was Thursday, so people kind of sort of forgot about it. But, man, Javonte Williams, man, he showed up. He came out. He did his thing. CeeDee Lamb went out there, was 100-plus yards, could have had almost 200 yards if he didn't drop 4 passes. But that's how the cookie crumbles. But that Jalen Carter really just set the tone. And I believe once Jalen Carter spit and got kicked out, Rock, I just thought it was over with. I said, oh, yeah, game is over. Cowboys going to take this one. Because when you lose a guy like that before any amount of football is even played, that sinks a whole team. And then the special teams guy, he tore his whole leg up, man. He couldn't even move. He got carted off on the first kick return. So I'm like, man, Philly, it ain't looking good for these dudes, man. And I was counting my chickens before they hatched on that one, Rock. So I did think we was going to win. But to close this out on a short note, I will just say, if I had to take anything away from this game, I will say that Jalen Hurts still looks like no matter what's going on, if you want to double team my receivers or press up, I'm going to run the ball. If you want to give them room, I'm going to throw the ball. Saquon Barkley is Saquon Barkley, but Dak Prescott is my quarterback, man. And he didn't win the game, but he had a lot of people that didn't help him win that game. But to stand in front of that defensive line with a young offensive line and move the way he was moving, breaking tackles, that's my quarterback. I appreciate how he looked on week 1, and I think he's going to make a statement for the rest of the year. Give me your thoughts on that game, Rock, before we jump into the next one, bro.
Yeah, what a weird start to the NFL season between the long-ass intro before you even get to football. And then as soon as things start, people are just spitting on one another.
They spitting facts.
It was crazy to see Jalen Carter do that. All I could think of is, man, his mama must be so embarrassed of him seeing his son spit on national television
First
on
game
the Dallas Cowboys.
Everybody
QB.
watching this game, Rock. Everybody.
Absolutely nuts. And then if that wasn't enough, is the drama later where now we have Spitgate, where Dak Prescott was actually the one that started the whole thing. I'm like, what the hell is going on, Fizz?
Yeah, man. They spitting hot fire, man. They spitting hot fire, Rock.
Yeah, that was pretty pitiful. Dak Prescott trying to say that in the post-game conference where he's like, oh, I was just wanting to spit. I'm like, who the hell spits at people? When you spit down, Fizz.
Yeah.
Ain't no one buying that shit. So I didn't like the look for both teams whatsoever when it came to that. But that's not what we hear about. Here are a couple different stats that I thought was pretty fascinating. Jalen Hurts was super efficient, Fizz. He had over 80% completion rate and more than 2 rushing touchdowns. The last time that has happened was in 1950. A QB has done that. So they have over 80% and 2 rushing touchdowns, or more than 2 rushing touchdowns. On PFF, Dak Prescott, I thought he looked pretty good. PFF also agrees. They gave him a 90 grade in week 1, Fizz. So I thought he played really, really good. Then after an hour-long delay, did you know that the Cowboys defense held the Eagles for the whole rest of the game to only 86 yards and 3 points?
Right. I'm gonna tell you, I went to sleep. So when I woke up, I thought the game got suspended. I said, damn, they must not have never came back out because nobody scored after that. So when I woke up and realized, hold on, I had to Google this, like, hold on, did anybody do anything in the third or fourth quarter? Because it suspended like 3 minutes or 4 minutes left in the third. So they had a whole quarter and a half really of play, and nobody did anything. So shout out to the defense for stepping up, man.
Yeah, I will take one of my first L's. This is going to be a long season of L's. I gotta, apologize, Fizz,
there we go.
to the slander that I gave the Cowboys, where I thought they were going to get slaughtered by the Eagles.
You did,
and they kept in that whole game. Javonte Williams, everyone's going to take the L on that because he was the lowest drafted starting RB going into this season, Fizz.
Bro, Trey Benson was going over Javonte Williams.
Yeah, which also too, he had a good game too, so I'll take a half L on that one. But Javonte Williams, I mean, he's number 5 in the week as far as fantasy points go. So I was happy to see him have a bounce back with the Cowboys against the vaunted Eagles defense. They are without Jalen Carter, but he still looked good. And Fizz, CeeDee Lamb, he had to get into the training facility early the next morning, 5 a.m., catching hundreds of balls because if he caught those passes that he dropped, Fizz, his week as far as fantasy points would have more than doubled. That's how many passes he dropped.
100%.
And it would have completely changed the game. They could have won the game. I was pretty surprised. Those are tough catches, but you're one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. You're at a standard that no one else is. So.
For sure. You get paid to make those catches, man. So we appreciate you acknowledging them L's, man. So thank you. It is, babe. We appreciate you letting me know that you definitely fumbled the bag, talking about some 37-10. Come on, Rock, get up out of here, man. We ain't listening to that garbage you talking about, man.
Yeah, we're gonna be doing that all because I learn a lot more from my mistakes than I do my wins, Fizz. So
I appreciate you
all season.
And last but not least, man, when we get to these games, we're gonna break down a couple more of the other games, but this one is just so important. We got to talk about it. The Baltimore Ravens and the
wait, Fizz. Let's save that for after this next one. I want to end on that one.
Okay, all right. Detroit and Green Bay. That's what you want to talk about. You know, I was trying to skip Micah Parsons. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good.
You're not going to be able to skirt next that one.
Detroit and Green Bay, man. We got to talk about that one because that was a heater of a game for the other side. And I think the Detroit Lions coming into the week. I don't know if you saw this, Rock, but on DraftKings, they had them. Detroit Lions like a plus 300. And I'm like, damn, they plan on being that bad? Like, I was like, man, they tripping. Clearly they weren't tripping because the Green Bay Packers, bro, Jordan Love. I'm going to take my L on this one because I literally said the Packers ain't nothing. We ain't worried about them. They garbage. They the worst team in the NFC North.
Oh, my God.
Not only did they spank the Lions on that raggedy tail, but they gave Jared Goff the business, bro. They sacked this man like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 times. Every time I looked up, somebody was sacking him. And then it got so bad, they said, hey, Micah Parsons got hit. Let's get him one, too. They were just like, you want to sack? Bro, it was bad, man. Nobody on this team, Jameson Williams, nothing. But we had one star. And I know everybody had a basic game. Laporta, shout out to him. But that boy Tesla, man. Tesla with that catch in the back of the end zone.
Oh, my God.
If you had to bring up any highlight of this game, that boy Tesla, I think his name Tesla, right? Right now you pronounce it Tesla? There we go. Tesla, baby. My boy Tesla, he said no charger, no efficient energies. Man, we going out here and we going to run it up. And he caught that pass in the right end zone, right? One hand with the feet on the ground. If you got to do anything as a coach to go back in that film room, you just play this and say, next week, give me this effort. That's all I need to hear because nobody else did nothing the rest of the
game. No. I mean, that was miraculous. His heels were like this. They're like, boop, boop. And then that's all he needed. He only played 3 snaps, and one of them was that insane catch of the year.
Best player today.
Exactly. So they definitely, and afterwards, the first thing I think the coaches said we're going to get more Isaac Tesla out there. So, that'd probably be a good idea. It would also be a good idea if you teach your running backs how to escape Micah Parsons, because here are some 2 insane stats, Fizz. Jahmyr Gibbs, who I am super hyped for this season, super excited for. I think there's no other player like him. Well, he set an NFL record, but not a good one. for the fewest receiving yards in a game for a player with at least 10 receptions. He had 31 yards on 10 catches, Fizz. It's the worst in NFL history. So you don't want to be setting that. Packers defense held the top two running backs, so David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs, 44 yards on 20 attempts. So the Detroit Lions got absolutely manhandled. It was terrible. Here's the thing. You remember when I was going back and forth on like, oh man, I really want to put the Packers in the NFC Championship versus the Eagles, but I don't want to get caught up in the moment. I got to give my guy Dan Campbell some love. I'm going to go with the Lions. Man, why didn't you say something to me, Fizz? You should have stopped me.
Hey, man.
Be like, hey, in 24 hours or a little less than a week from now, you're going to wish that you stuck with the Packers because they looked like one of the best teams in the NFL. They literally looked like they were one piece away from going to an NFC Championship Super Bowl run. Micah Parsons came out and completely dominated that game. He played almost every snap. He didn't come off the field. And there was that one play. I've never been more scared for a human being's life when Micah Parsons was right behind Jared Goff. He was running at like 1,000 miles per hour. I'm like, no, get rid of the ball, Jared. Watch out. And then he got killed. He just tracked him down. Micah Parsons is a scary dude. Shame on the Dallas Cowboys for letting that guy go.
I gotta admit to it, Rock. That wasn't a good thing to see, man, for us. But it was good for them. You know, they needed that. I don't plan on more of them happening, but maybe hopefully they beat the Commanders, and might not be so easy for that boy J-Day, man, this week. We will see about that. But Baltimore and Buffalo, Rock, you try to skip it, you try to get past it. It's time to talk about it, man. We talking about primetime real estate. I don't know if everybody stayed up all night because I was one of those people, one eye open, like, 24 to 25 to 40. I can go to sleep. Then Derrick Henry fumbled. And I said, oh, hell no. Nah. What the hell is going on? So just thinking about how this game started off, Rob, when you look at Lamar Jackson doing what he do, Zay Flowers had a day. Usually Zay is kind of up and down. You're not really sure how you're going to get consistently. But
career day. It was a career day for him.
He had a day in Buffalo. And then we get D-Hop with the one hand. The man came in for one play and said, all right, I'm good. Let's go ahead and clock me back out, man. He clocked in, did all the work, and clocked back out, bro. One hand, getting held by it. Mm-hmm. Baltimore had everything going, Rock. Everything. They had this game won. It was in the bag. And Josh Allen said, hold my beer, man. You think it's over with. It ain't over with, man. What you think about that, Rock? This your team. You the Buffalo Ravens guy. I'm going to let you. The floor is yours, my brother. Do your thing, man. I'm going to give you the whole floor. Do your thing, bro. Oh.
So,
hold up.
No, don't give me the whole thing. It just, oh my God. Okay, first of all, this was going to be one of the games of the year because when we saw both of these teams go at it, I mean, this is one of the best matchups. This is now becoming a new rivalry, Fizz, because Pittsburgh Steelers, they're not really that much anything anymore. Now with Aaron Rodgers, we're going to talk about that Jets game later on, but Baltimore can't get past Buffalo. So to see them come out where Buffalo, they get out to the start really good. They score on their first drive. They look dominant. And then from that first drive, Fizz, it was Baltimore the entire rest of the way until the last play of the game. Baltimore had been winning the entire game pretty much. But this has to be, Fizz, and I'm not going to be able to, bury this lead. This, I think, was the best game I've ever seen Josh Allen play. Bro. There is just something about him where he just kept that intensity, he kept that drive, and he kept them in that entire game. And Baltimore they made two mistakes, Fizz. When Derrick Henry fumbled the ball and then Buffalo scored on that very next play or the very next drive. And then also when our kicker, when he missed that extra point. We made two critical mistakes.
I think hold on, right? I got to come back on the screen for this one. I think the biggest mistake, one of the biggest mistakes, you gave Josh Allen the ball, bro.
Well, they're going to eventually get the ball. When that's just the way it goes. Our defense, as good as it is, the Buffalo Bills are still by EPA, one of the best offenses in the NFL.
For
It was
sure.
Buffalo, it was Detroit, and it was Baltimore. Those are the three best
And
offenses.
that's why it's 4th and 3. I don't care if we on our bro. We got Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson. I'm not punting this ball because we're not gonna get the ball back. I've learned from a Dallas Cowboys standpoint, when Aaron Rodgers, we give him the ball with 30 seconds left. When Pat Mahomes get the ball back in the playoffs and teams keep punting it to him, it could be 12 seconds left, Rock. Pat Mahomes gonna score that touchdown, win that game. It happens every time. If I'm Baltimore, I'm not punting that ball, man. I need Josh Allen to sit on that sideline, or we gonna bet on ourselves and we're gonna lose. But I'm not giving him the ball. We got Derrick Henry and Lamar, man. We not giving this ball up, bro. Can't do it.
I don't know. I don't hate on anything that the Ravens did. I really don't. And people
I'm
in the Discord,
I'm not hating on it, but you don't.
I'm not talking specifically to you. I'm talking to all the people that were chirping at me after the game was over.
They was talking.
Hey, I
Rob,
can't
they was on your
stand
top,
on Discord, and all my friends just being like, ha ha ha. You know, as soon as your team loses in one of the best games I have seen in years, and people want to talk shit. I'm like, why are you talking shit about this team? If you were playing the Baltimore Ravens, you'd be scared shitless for them to put 40 points on you. Derrick Henry, still 600 yards short, Fizz. I can't believe that stat. This guy ran for 12,000 yards in high school, and he's still 600 yards short despite being in the NFL for like 12 years.
The man averaged 350 yards a game in senior year, bro. That's crazy.
Isn't that crazy? So he set multiple records during the first half of that game with how many rushing yards he had. He looked absolutely dominant, and he took the blame for it. After that post-game press conference, he said to his team, you know, this one's on me. So he took it like a man. I appreciate that about him. So get this L out of the way.
Nothing to worry about, Rock. Y'all be good.
I'm not worried about it whatsoever. I honestly, as great as the Baltimore Ravens looked, I just feel like this was destiny for Josh Allen. The way that this game went, there was nothing that was going to stop him. You could have punted it away. You could have went for it on 4th down.
You could be
Who knows what could have happened? Right. I think it was written in the stars that Josh Allen was going to win this game. It was the best game I've ever seen from him. Here are some crazy stats. They became, the Buffalo Bills, the first team in NFL history to win after being down 15 plus points with only 4 minutes left. They had a 1.1% win probability at that point in the game, Fizz. Josh Allen, he had 269 fourth quarter passing yards. That's the most in a single quarter in NFL history.
And 2
touchdowns.
Along
with 2 rushing touchdowns. Along with 2 rushing touchdowns. And then the Ravens, unfortunately, there's always the flip side of it. They became the first team ever to score 40 plus points, rush for 235 yards, and still lose the goddamn game, Fizz. Prior to this, teams in that situation, 277-0. That's 277-1.
Damn.
Fizz.
I mean, I expect guys like, I tell you this all the time, right? The Ravens remind me of my Cowboys so bad, bro, because they always sell me a dream and then they give it up right at the end of the damn movie, man. But I will say this, for fandom, that was a hell of a game, bro. I hate for people that slept too early and had to wake up early and missed it. But if you ever had to see a football game be played, that's the type of game we want to see. All the primetime games were real good, bro.
My wife's been getting on my case. She's like, you need to get to sleep early because you're so sick. You need to get 8 to 10 hours of sleep. And I'm like, I can't, not with all these games.
Nah, man, tell her that's over with, man. Tell her about 6 months you can get some sleep, man, but not for like 6 months, bro.
I'm sick for the next 6 months.
Yeah, you are sick. So, man, shout out my boy, man, for being here. But that was a hell of a weekend, man. Hell of a prime time, especially, like I said, Sunday night, Thursday night, Friday night. Monday night, like it was just flowing for the primetime games. But as we get into more and more games, right, we did want to touch and talk about a couple of these players, man. You know, we like to break down a couple of these stats and give us some fantasy takes, man. So it was one big game that we didn't talk about, but these two players are in the same game. So without further ado, Rob, let's get straight into it, man. We talk about this side of the ball first. Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. Rock, all we heard is Garrett Wilson. He won't be good. Justin Fields can't throw the ball. Breece Hall, he's going to fall back because Allen is about to take over this backfield. They don't want to sign him. Nothing that we saw on that field Sunday said anything like that. I think we got a coach that's saying we're going to let the media believe whatever they want. We're not going to address nothing. We just going to go out there and play ball. And when you look at how the Jets played, it looked like a college-style offense, man. It looked like they played Justin Fields the way he should be played. They went out there. They didn't make him sit in the pocket and run around and look crazy. They didn't make him a running back either. They let him play how he wanted to play. And Garrett Wilson, I believe, was the biggest surprise out of all of this. A lot of people thought Fields can't throw the ball. Garrett Wilson won't have the touches. I watched Justin Fields throw this ball around in between two defenders, man, going across the middle. Ping. So I don't want to hear no more about my boy can't throw the damn ball, all right? But Justin Fields, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, Rock, what does performance look like to you, man, and what can we expect going forward, bro?
So Justin Fields had a top 5 fantasy performance. He had 218 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 119 rating, and he also put 48 yards on the ground with 2 rushing touchdowns. Breece Hall was 11th on the week in fantasy, 107 yards rushing, Fizz, and also he had receiving. He had 2 catches for 38 yards. Mm-hmm. I was feeling kind of worried because I cooked up my first Photoshop thumbnail, Fizz, and I put H-N start.
I thought about you.
And then I put sit for Breece Hall.
I thought about you.
And I was like, oh, man. Luckily, H-N finally did pull it out. He actually ranked 10th, right ahead of Breece Hall.
Man, that was
but Breece Hall, he had the best game he's had in like 2 years since his rookie season. So I was so happy to be wrong about Breece Hall.
Yeah.
But the NFL is way better when Breece Hall and Justin Fields and Garrett Wilson, who was number 7 on the weekend fantasy. He had 7 catches, 95 yards, 1 touchdown. He was getting in Jalen Ramsey's face for a hit on Justin Fields. Jalen Ramsey had the last word on that last play, though, unfortunately, for Garrett Wilson and the Jets.
He crushed him.
But, there was between this game, between the Bears and between the Ravens, man, there was a couple gut-wrenching losses for teams and fan bases that were just super excited for their team coming up, and then just losing at the very, very end, man. So, but overall, I do like the new mentality. This is the best I've seen the Jets look. They still freaking lost. Should not have picked them to be an upset Fizz against Pittsburgh Steelers. But
I mean, Aaron Rodgers just did what he did. We will bring that up. Aaron Rodgers being back, man. This was like a Freaky Friday type thing, Rock. You know, they switched teams, they switched bodies, they switched ages. Pittsburgh went old, and the Jets went young. You know what I'm saying? These two guys literally were on different, the same uniforms, just on different sides last year, bro. So to see this for week 1, that was another kudos to the NFL for setting us up. Shout out to the NFL for week 1 schedule, man. This is a hell of a schedule this week. I enjoyed most of what I saw. But Aaron Rodgers, man, I ain't gonna lie, Rob. You know how, we got Arthur Smith. He's in the building. He's calling the plays. Everybody thinks Arthur Smith, which he showed a lot of his, Jonnu Smith and Pat Freiermuth. He went to his regular guys. But I will say, and I've been saying this all offseason, the difference between Arthur Smith with young guys like Justin Fields and, all these other young QBs who are learning, they kind of have to listen to what the coach is calling. Aaron Rodgers, yeah. What do you say, coach? Oh, yeah. We going to do this. You know what I'm saying? Like, we not listening to what Arthur Smith talking about. And I think Rodgers still respects that he's the coach. So he's going to kind of put it all in perspective to make it look like an Arthur Smith type offense. But at the end of the day, Aaron Rodgers, man. He didn't show up to be listening to a guy who had one of the worst offensive schemes in the game. So say all that to say, if you thought Aaron Rodgers was going to go out there and not try to have the biggest game of his career every single week, you lost your mind. He just might not have the weapons to provide that. But, hey, man, he got Calvin Austin has life now, right? Calvin Austin goes out there, drops like 17 fantasy points. Pat Freiermuth, Jonnu Smith, Jalen Warren. The run game was pretty much obsolete, but when we get to the passing game, Aaron Rodgers is out there throwing dice, right? He took a lot of sacks too, man. The O-line don't look as strong as it usually do, but Aaron Rodgers pulled it out in the end, man, and he held it down, dog. Discount double check in the building. What you think about that boy A-Rod, man, and his debut in Pittsburgh, bro?
I thought it was pretty cool what he said, that it felt really good to beat the whole Jets organization
Yeah,
and everyone
yeah.
there that doubted him.
The fans booed him and
Uh,
everything.
yeah, and it's just like I think people make a mistake of conflating who Aaron Rodgers is on the camera and who Aaron Rodgers is on the field.
I
And they
like
want to
that.
combine them and they want to lower Aaron Rodgers down. And it's like this guy is going to age just like Tom Brady did. He's going to be like just absolutely dominant. I mean, he was number 3 in fantasy points this week. He had 4 passing touchdowns. And that offense looked mid as hell. As I remember
It did.
saying, like, this game looked terrible the first half is. The Jets were just dominating. They were just going through the paces. And the Steelers looked like they had no answers on offense. They're running the ball too damn much with Jalen Warren, who's not an RB1. He's a nice change of pace. He's a nice pass catcher. He was missing passes to DK Metcalf. Calvin Austin looked like the best wide receiver on their team, and Jonnu Smith was doing all these weird trick plays. This looked like a weird offense, to say the least. And then Aaron Rodgers after halftime is like, "All right, Arthur, just put down the play sheet. I'm going to take over from here."
That's
And
what it looked like too.
and it looked good for the whole rest of the game. They just looked like, hey, we're the better team. We're the better organization. We know how to win games, at least at this point of the year. Let's just, put them to sleep. And that's exactly what they did. So I think, unfortunately, the Steelers are still going to be the Steelers. They're still going to hang around. They're still going to be in games no matter what. And I'm actually kind of excited to see Aaron Rodgers, old man Rodgers, put some teams to sleep this upcoming season.
And I like how you put that about people changing how they feel about Rodgers. Because I'm not gonna lie, bro, that's what the problem with Brady, right? When Brady was in New England, you kind of hated him because he kept winning and he was just like this aura of he's not a mean guy, but he just stand on business so much, right? Then he goes to Tampa, he's smiling, he laughing. He bringing Mike Evans, like he looked like a guy that had freedom now because Bill Belichick, this no nonsense way of being in the locker room changed. So now you rooting for Brady because you like, damn, man, this dude wanted all of it in New England. And he has a new perspective of life and he's doing it in Tampa. The difference is with Rodgers. I love me some Rodgers, bro. I used to think Rodgers was my man. He used to just kill the Cowboys so much. But then as you go on, you start seeing how he don't want to be in training camp. He go surfing with mountain hiking, and a lot of it is the media, right? The media does this to us and they kind of change our minds on players. But some of it is Aaron Rodgers. Some of it is the stuff he says and him being too talkative and being on these shows, running his mouth. So I hate that we have changed our tone to Aaron Rodgers, but at the end of the day, once he leaves this game, we will say that this dude was one of, if not the best at his position, man. And he did what he's supposed to do in his career, bro.
The guy is just a weird guy. You can't really put your finger on him. He's just a weird dude. But you know what? There's certain things, especially when it comes to his gameplay, that there's no one else that can do it like him. So I know EV, it's one of his favorite players, Aaron Rodgers. He's always defended him. I've gone back and forth on defending him. There are times where I really love him, especially like yesterday or on Sunday, where he just comes in. He's like, yeah, you guys thought I was over with. You guys thought I was done. I just put 4 touchdowns on you. So, yeah, I just love when people just, subvert the expectations, the underdogs, the people that people hate on. Yeah. Those are my storylines that I love. Yeah.
Well, I will say this, man. Aaron Rodgers did his thing. We look forward to what they got next, man. But let's get into some of these risers, man. These guys that went up the charts, not necessarily guys that we thought weren't going to be good, but guys that we thought could really take off. And even though I have this graphic up here, it was one guy that we missed out of this conversation, Rob. And that's your boy, Danny No Dimes, the nickel pickle. We flipping pennies or whatever you want to call him, man. Danny Dimes with the Colts. I ain't had no graphic because I will not make a Danny Dimes graphic whatsoever. Can't do it. It hurt my eyes. But let's shout out that boy Danny, man. He did his thing out there with the Colts. And I saw Pops put in the chat, man, what's up with my boy Tua? It's time to pull the plug. Well, this is who Tua went up against. And Daniel Jones, when you make Daniel Jones look like an MVP, something's wrong on the other side of the football, man. So let us know about Danny Dimes, Rock, and how this Colts offense just obliterated these Dolphins, bro. I mean, they need Ray Finkel, they need Ace Ventura, they need everybody, man, that save these Dolphins right now, man, because it ain't looking good, bro. But what's up with Danny, man? What's up with it?
Daniel Jones was 6th on the week, only after Justin Fields. He had 26 yards on the ground, 2 touchdowns on the ground. He had 272 yards to the air and 1 passing touchdown to Michael Pittman. Love being able to see that.
Michael Pittman brought him back to life. That's what we love to see for sure.
I can't believe at one point I think they were up 30-0.
It was either 30-0 or like 30-3 or something. But it wasn't 3 because they only had 8 points. So yeah, it was like 30-0. You're right.
There was like at one point it looked like, what the hell is going on? McDaniels just keeps turning into, those parts in SpongeBob when they look absolutely disgusting and they have these close-ups. Every time I see Mike McDaniel on these post-game press conferences, just looks worse and worse and worse. Tyreek Hill is losing his goddamn mind on the bench.
Bro, he's on the sideline going crazy, bro.
Both him and Jalen Waddle. I saw all these memes of Tua just being cross-eyed like this.
Yeah.
Just like,
I had those graphics up. I said, I ain't gonna do my boy Tua like that, man.
Just look absolutely terrible. Like, this is the time. I remember saying this, like, if you're not going to play these guys week 1, when are you going to ever feel good about playing them? They were going up against the Colts, who they made look like an amazing team. The Colts aren't that amazing. They're not.
At all.
They're really, really not. They lost Storm Duck, their number 1 corner during the game. So they had no one on defense to be able to stop anything that they were doing for the Colts offense. But it just looked bad. Man, Tyreek Hill, man. He's one of my favorite wide receivers. He might just die on my bench. I don't think I'm going to even be able to trade him for this.
And we did have a segment that we could just kind of incorporate it now of eating our L's. And my L definitely was Tyreek Hill, bro. Tyreek Hill was 100% my biggest L. I was screaming and hollering all off season. Make sure you draft Tyreek. The Dolphins going to be in a position. They got to win. It is. Man, please, man. That his girlfriend coming out saying that she filing charges. Man, this dude.
Which one?
Which one? You're right. Which one? I don't know. The cheetah is a cheetah. I don't know, man. But this dude, it's time to get him out of here, man. What's my man on the show, Cheetahs, man? Let's put the cameras up and pull up at the Miami Dolphins practice squad. Let's get him up out of here, man. For real.
Catch a cheetah, yeah.
Yeah, for sure. We need to get him up out of here, man, because I'm over him. We gonna move on from that. But the long story short, Pops, Tua is a newer. We gonna get him up out of here. No more Tua for us. We good on that one.
At one point, I thought they were gonna throw Anthony Richardson in because they were up so much.
I'm not gonna lie. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to disrespect Danny Dimes' debut, but I think if Anthony Richardson played this terrible team, he would have looked like an efficient quarterback, bro. I really do. The Dolphins look that bad, Rock. Literally, they look that bad.
I don't know, man. I'm not sure.
All right, let's move on, man.
I'm not ready to go there yet. There's too much craziness going on. Danny Dimes looking like Peyton Manning out there, and now you want Anthony Richardson out there looking like Cam Newton.
We gotta get A out there, man. But we're gonna move on to the running backs, man. The risers, the ballers, and hey, man, that boy Breece Hall, Javonte Williams, and that boy Bill, man, Billy Bill. He up in the building. We got a couple of guys. I ain't want to bring all of them up, but we talked about Breece a little bit. We talked about Javonte Williams earlier. So let's get straight into Bill, man. You know, this RB4 that was listed on the depth chart. And what do you know, Rock? We kind of clowned everybody for thinking, hey, man, y'all thought he was. Hey, man, he said, all right, y'all don't believe it. We going to show you. So he went out there and he didn't have a great game, but it was a game that was efficient enough to show us what the running back room looks like. Like Eckler went out there, started it off. He wasn't that efficient with the run game. And I saw the play when Bill scored on the right-hand side, man, and it was kind of wide open. It was like a walk-in touchdown. But what you thought about Bill's performance, man, and can we trust him to lock in at least, let's just say, the number one flex spot on our teams, bro?
So my biggest L from start sit, Mike had a great call out. He said that Bill is a meme, but it's fun to be a meme sometimes. So he started him, and I said I didn't want to end up being a meme. I called for benching his ass because of everything that had been happening the last couple of weeks. I hadn't even heard of this guy until a few weeks ago. And now all of a sudden he's just coming in and dominating. Fizz, at one point, he had the most dominant rushing performance of any rookie. It was 82 yards rushing for him. The next closest was what's his face out in Las Vegas?
Genty. And Genty didn't have that big of a game, but it was
38 yards.
Yeah.
That was the next closest one. Travion Henderson only had like 25, and then unfortunately he had some really bad negative yard production from a couple of rookies. Super sad about that. But yeah, man, baby Billy, he had 10 rushes, 82 yards. He was 16 or 17 on the week in fantasy. And he had some juice, man. When he had that one rushing touchdown where he just pushed it out to the outside, he looked good. Because Eckler, he can't do that at his age. I thought it was going to be an even split between him and Eckler. Chris Rodriguez got the healthy scratch. And then McNichols, I guess he just chimed in a little bit. But
I'm looking at the attempts now. Bill had 10 attempts, 82 yards for 8 yards of carry. J-Day had 11 carries. Austin had 6. McNichols had 4. And Debo had his 1 for 19 and a touchdown. So he led other than J-Day, who don't really count as a running back, he led in the backfield in rushing, and he led the rushing yards. So right now, bro, on the depth chart, I guess he's listed as 4, but he's clearing his 1.
There's always going to be a couple guys where they just, where we get basically gifted. And usually with rookies, I feel like most of the time it's going to be like the Travion Hendersons. It's going to be like the Ashton Genties, where we have to really subdue expectations. But sometimes, we get these miraculous performances like Bill in his first game, getting 8.2 yards a pop, getting a touchdown, coming out of nowhere. There's this. It's hard to discern which guys of these rookies or these like ones that are flying really under the radar, who's going to pop and who's going to be like, oh yeah, what do you expect? This is the NFL. You can't just come in here, get 8.2 yards of carry and a touchdown. So it's hard to know which ones are going to do it. And I'm glad to see Bill do it. I kind of wish that some of these other guys like Travion would have done it, but we'll get to them a little bit later on.
Yeah, for sure. But we also can runner-ups. We got Travis Etienne. We got that boy Dylan Sampson, who I know Quinshawn Junkins just got signed. He signed his contract fully guaranteed. He didn't play week 1. I'm guessing they're going to start, I guess, week 2. He's coming back into the game. He still got to get in football shape. Jerome Ford looks like he's not Ford till he looks cooked, Rock. And Rocket Sanders, bro. Did you see Rocket Sanders in the game?
Get a touchdown. Yeah.
Hey, Rock, I'm not going to lie. I thought it was Sampson because I was like, oh, yeah. And I look like,
no. That guy's way bigger.
I could not believe that, Rock. So go ahead and break that down a little bit.
I will say, as wrong as I was about Bill, man, I'm so glad I want the bat for Dylan Sampson.
Yes, sir.
He ended up being the RB. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. RB9 on the week with those 8 catches, 64 yards. They were saying, this is your time to sell Sampson. No, this is your time to sell Ford for whatever you can get for him. He didn't do shit during the entire game.
Afford him.
Exactly. You can still afford him too.
Facts.
He's probably going to be dropped in the next couple of weeks. As soon as Quinshawn comes back, I think it's going to be an even split. Are you okay over there, Fizz? Looks like everything came down to a screeching halt for you.
My bad.
But no, I'm so happy to see that Dylan Sampson was one of the guys that I got right during week 1. So he is my highest owned player in Underdog. So I hope he keeps it up.
Yeah, that was and like I said, ETN, we got Tank Bigsby out, and with that news, we didn't break that. What you think about is it Tootin' time? And it was another guy, Allen Jr., who came in the game, which I was like, what is this about? So
LaQuint Allen, I think, got a lot of the third down pass catching, and he's really good out of Clemson. But yeah, ETN. We heard, I think,
like a 90-yard run too, though. So the numbers can be a little miscrewed, but he looked good doing it, though.
He did. We heard like right before start shit that ETN looked like he was going to be the RB1 pretty easily. the last second, we had no idea if it was going to be him or Tank or an even split. We didn't know what it was going to look like. Well, we know now because Tank Bigsby is in Philadelphia.
The Eagles, man. What they got going on, Rock? But look, shout out to you. But I want to ask you, bro, before we go into the receivers, how you feel about Will Shipley, man? What you feeling about Will Shipley? They traded for Tank. They got AJ Dillon. Will got the rib injury. He ain't got no sauce on the ribs. My boy Rock traded all his third rounders, man, and ended up in the third row.
It was looking damn pretty good up until they traded for his ass, and he got a rib injury. Will Shipley looked pretty solid, and I think he had a lot. I think he had a lot more juice than AJ Dillon.
Yeah, bro.
Someone must have told the Eagles, "This is your last chance to avert disaster if something happens to Saquon Barkley." So
yeah, that was a wild, random, crazy trade, man. But
yeah,
I thought about you yesterday, though.
All my Shipley and all my Tank Bigsby, all those shares,
in the tank,
they're dead. And unless something happens to Saquon, they're dead.
Yeah. Unfortunately, man. So those are the risers at running back, man. We're going to get to these receivers because, man, we had a lot of them. We probably can't get on all of them, but Keon Coleman, Zay Flowers, that boy Mbuka, we know we got to get on him because Rock been literally, I mean, everybody hyping him up, Rock, but I work with you, and I know you've been hyping up Mbuka all season. We got Debo Samuel. We talked about Garrett Wilson, JSN, Quentin Johnston, just to name a few. And, yeah, man. I mean, we can start at Keon, though, bro, because Keon was the key. And, hey, this is his breakout game, and I really want to start with Keon. Good morning, sweetheart. Because I know you don't like him, man. You ain't got no love for my boy, man. So eat another L on this one, Rock, because Keon is here, baby. The seed is planted. How you feel about it? And can we continue going with this one, or this is just a one-off? What you think?
This is my biggest L. I have it underlined for L's of the week. I only wrote one name down. Much apologies to Keon Coleman. Much apologies to guys like EV, who was super hyped for him.
There you go, EV.
Josh Allen didn't just have the game of his life. Keon Coleman, it was his coming out party. It was the game of his life, too. He had 8 catches, 11 targets, 112 yards, 1 touchdown. He could have had a 2-point conversion if he didn't go out of bounds.
Yeah.
On that, and that would have been even closer game. Who knows? But they ended up still winning the game. They do not win that game, Fizz, without Keon Coleman, because the whole first half of that game, the Ravens were just showing Buffalo, you have no one to throw to.
Facts.
You really have nothing.
No, bro, Josh Palmer was like their number 1 receiver at one point. Come on, man.
Yeah,
really?
and he had Josh Palmer had a critical third down where he got behind the defense too, kept the game alive. So yeah, Keon Coleman, if he can continue to do that, he is here to stay. But I've never seen him make plays like that before. I've never seen him step up as a number 1. So maybe we don't have to wait 3 to 4 years. Like for a lot of breakout wide receivers, Fizz, maybe he breaks out this year. I just didn't see it on stats. I didn't see it on film last year. So I don't know how EV predicted this. I don't know if he just, had a dream or some type of premonition of God came to him and said, hey, draft some Keon Coleman, no matter what people say. I didn't get that same premonition, but I'm glad to be wrong about Keon Coleman. I will definitely eat that L.
Well, thank you, sir. Next, man. Let's get into it. We're talking about Zay Flowers. Let's get into the primetime real estate, man, because this is the guy everybody want to hear. I wish I could have put some flames on his shoulder pads, man, because he's on fire. And we're talking about that boy Mbuka, man. That boy Njigba, Mbuka and Jigba. No, not JSN. I'm just playing. But that boy Emeka Mbuka, man, he went off in Tampa Bay, in Atlanta for Tampa Bay. And no Chris Godwin. We already knew he's going to miss like the first 5 or 6 weeks. And
it's getting bigger and bigger every week that goes by. I think it's week 5 or maybe week 6.
It's coming,
maybe it's week 7.
Just temper your tantrum, all right, man? Relax.
By the time that he comes back, Emeka Egbuka is going to be a top 5 wide receiver.
I already told you before, God wins, man. God wins, brother. So let's my boy Mbuka though, because he is a dog. He looked like the god out there, man. He had 4 receptions, 67 yards, 2 touchdowns, and it's more so, Rock, to me, not this stat line, but it happened at a crucial time because Atlanta, man, kind of had this game it was a back and forth game. Like it was one of the best games of the 1 o'clock or 1 p.m. Schedule. And Michael Penix was out there doing what he had to do. Bijan Robinson looked like the RB1. Like I'm betting on him to be RB1 hands down. He looked like that dog. But that boy Mbuka just came in at a time where it looked like Baker Mayfield didn't know who else to throw it to. Like Mike Evans was there, but he wasn't really Mike Evans in the sense. But it looked like when it counted, Baker Mayfield just said, "Hey, you, number 2, I need you." And he just showed up, man. So let us know about Mbuka, man, and all the hype and how real it got for us, man. How you feeling about what he did Sunday, bro?
Yeah, he's the wide receiver 4 on the week. Zay Flowers, I don't want to overlook him. Zay Flowers had a career game, 143 yards, 1 touchdown. He was the missing piece last year in the playoffs. If people don't remember, Zay Flowers didn't play in that game. It was just only basically Mark Andrews that Lamar Jackson had to throw to. So he really took over that game. It looked unstoppable between Zay and Derrick Henry and Lamar Jackson rushing when he needed to.
Career game.
And I don't know
what
career
happened. Games this weekend, right? I don't mean to cut you off.
Lots of career games. But yeah, man, Emeka Egbuka. I mean, talk about a guy that's been hyped all off season and then living up to the hype.
Up to it. On game 1, week 1 at that, right?
And he looked awesome. I mean, he looked so good. There are some of these guys that come in like Marvin Harrison, like Roma Dunze, like JSN his rookie year, where it's like, all right, it's going to take a while to get going. Not for Emeka. Immediately, he looks like the wide receiver 1. It's going to be an awesome duo between him and Mike Evans. Baker Mayfield was all over the damn place. So I'm glad that he has a guy. Kate Otten, I don't think registered a single stat in the entire game. So it was just, they had nothing to outside of him. Bucky Irving had a good game. He had a sick receiving touchdown. But yeah, man, this is going to be another. I love watching the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I just absolutely love them.
They look like fun. I always say this: a happy Baker is a fun Baker to watch, man. And whenever Baker looks like he's having fun, bro, that's the type of football I like to see. He just reminds me of that backyard. Let's go outside and play on the pavement type of quarterback. And I know they won that game, but man, I think Atlanta kind of. To watch Michael Penix come back on that last drive and he ran the ball. And I know I don't have Penix up here on the graphic, but Penix did his thing this week, man. And shout out to him. Drake London had a shoulder injury. I'm hearing he could miss a week or 2, but
yeah, that's tough. Because Drake London, he had like 15 target. He had an insane target share.
13, I believe. 7 for 13, I believe.
Absolutely crazy. And you don't want to see him get hurt. So
for sure.
Yeah.
But Michael Penix, I just want to shout him out, man, because he stepped up to the plate week 1, showed that this is why y'all took me at that pick 8, and shout out to
rushing upside. Rushing upside. He had the super.
He couldn't run, right? Remember they said
he had the Michael Jordan stretch out Space Jam touchdown. Yeah. That was awesome.
Hit the ground. So shout out to Penix, man. Do rag, shorty, man. He stayed out there with the do rag on, man. So
he resurrected one of your favorite players. One of your favorite players.
Come on, baby. You know my boy deserves his own. He on his own planet right now. You feel me? But Rock, I'm not gonna lie. We do I got the young guys up? No, I thought I had one. Rock, no. Okay, look, I'm gonna get to the young dudes at that position once I upload this. But in the meantime, in between time, since my boy Jake is here, let's show a little bit of love to that boy Chet McMillan. What you thought about that performance? We know the Panthers. Pretty much, man. I ain't gonna lie, man. That boy Bryce, man, he hurt my heart, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I tweeted Bryce hurting my heart, and then he threw a touchdown. So he's still hurting me, brother. But I'm glad that you at least showed up, man. But what you think about that performance, man, by Chet McMillan? Since we were talking about the not career games for receivers, but a good breakout game. He had, I think, 6 receptions for 50 yards or 5 receptions.
Yeah, 5 catches,
68 yards. Yeah,
68 yards. But it could have been an even bigger day because Bryce Young in that offense still looked kind of out of sorts. Yeah, it did not look like it was firing all cylinders.
Either. So Carolina really could have tried their way to win that game, man, if they had it together.
Yeah, but Bryce Young, for at least a lot of the game, at least the first half, he just looked like old Bryce Young. He did not like. looked like he was taking a step from where he had left off last year.
Yeah.
Chuba Hubbard only had 57 yards on the ground. And yeah, he only had 3 catches. He did get
saved a lot of teams, though. I'll tell you that.
He did. So he did at least get those 32 yards receiving and that touchdown.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Might look kind of rough with receiving. If Chuba Hubbard is your second receiver, where is Xavier Legette?
Man, Legette, he was in the hood. He got that dollar bill. Man, Legette,
he had less yards than Hunter Renfrow, who was cut like 2 days ago.
I know, man. Let's skip on for the Panthers, man. All right, Jake, you hurt my head with that one, man. But we do want to talk about the tight ends, right? Let's talk about the tight ends. These are the end of the risers, and we're gonna get to these fallers, man.
Wait, we missed one.
Oh, you missing? Who you missing? Oh, Debo. My bad, big dog. Oh, we missing 2. QJ and Debo, man. So let's go Debo and then end with Quentin Johnston, man, because Quentin definitely that was the biggest game.
We talked about Quentin Johnston. We talked about all the fandom in Brazil now. Kids are getting his jersey. So we already talked about QJ.
You know what? I'm going to let you talk about Debo because you just traded him away for nothing and you didn't think he was going to do nothing.
It was nothing. It was 2/3, and that's fine. It is what it is. I was thinking about that trade. Man, EV keeps being right about all this shit that I'm wrong about. That's fine.
Yeah, so let us know about Debo, man, his breakout appearance in Washington. Before you get into it, I will say this, Rock, looking at that game, I can admit myself, I had Debo, I thought he was going to get hit in the head with a brick by Craig. That's pretty much how I felt this whole season. But to me, I think Debo is the piece for this offense, and this is why. Looking at that game, now they played the Giants, don't get me wrong, but the offensive line still not being what they needed to be, and McLaurin and them kind of being downfield. If you look at how Debo played, bro, he played how he played in the 49ers. He just ran all around the field. He was out the backfield. He had 1 rush for a touchdown, but it was 19 yards in a touchdown. He ran a lot of short routes, and he's going to be that guy when JJ scrambling because the O-line collapsed, Debo was coming across, or he right here. Because his route tree is so, bigger than a lot of other receivers who might can run certain places. I think Debo might be the missing piece, man. Can he stay healthy? We don't know. Is he in shape? He look like it to me. So I will give him his flowers and say that I think Debo not just running no neighborhood. He running the whole city, man, with this bike, man. That bike ain't just running in on one neighborhood, Rock. He knocking on all the doors, all the zip codes, and he taking chains everywhere he go, bro.
Fizz, I'm glad. I shouldn't have eaten that McDonald's right before this because my stomach is already full with all these L's that I've been eating. And you got to watch out for EV. That guy, EV knows what he's talking about. I'm not going to challenge him anymore. Whatever he says, I'm going to be like, all right, you know what? I'm just going to wait to see.
Well, until we talk about the Browns, and then we got to calm that down. But outside of that, my boy EV,
he can't do anything about that. He's contractually obligated.
That's true too.
But Debo Samuel, he had 10 targets. He had 7 catches. He had 77 yards. He led this team in receiving, I do believe. And his 1 carry went for 19 yards and a touchdown. He looked like the Debo of old. He looked like he was the main guy that they really wanted to get involved in this game because Terry McLaurin, I think he missed out on what could have been like a 60-yard touchdown that they didn't connect on. We're going to talk about Terry McLaurin, but yeah, it was the Debo Samuel show, the Ja'Cory Cross-Game show for the Washington Commanders, and Jaden Daniels looked pretty solid. So,
I'll say this: they're going to need Debo to run all around that field when they play the Green Bay Packers because that D-line is coming, Rock. They're going to need Debo to be fast and quick this week.
Gets hit on a screen pass by Michael Parsons. And I'm glad that I traded him away to EV for 2
Yeah, it's gonna be over, bro. I'm with you on that.
But yeah, hopefully Debo stays healthy. Hopefully he keeps proving me wrong.
Well, I did find it, Rock. We're gonna get to the tight ends and we're gonna jump into these fallers and we're gonna fall up out of here, man. But the tight end risers, baby. The tight end risers. We got Tyler Warren, that boy Jawan Johnson, Rock. Goodness gracious. And we got that boy Harold Fanning, man. We talked about Harold Fanning a lot during the offseason, and we talked about the draft prospects and the scouting and how he broke all these records, and he was one of the most athletic guys to ever touch the field at the position. And your guy, Tyler Warren, pretty much is the offense in Indianapolis right now. But that guy in the middle, man, Juwan Johnson, we gonna talk about him too. So
that's an awesome picture you have of him. That doesn't even look like him with the
bro,
mustache and the haircut.
So
that looks like someone's dad.
Head and the big body. I say, man, what the hell is going on, man? What man look like?
He looks like he's going out for Rocky 6. It looks like he's going to get in a fight. What is that?
Creed 38, man. We gotta get this boy up out of here, man. But let's start with Juwan, man, because he was the key to this offense in New Orleans. And I'm not gonna lie, Rock. I just read a report that Kyler Murray said he had diarrhea all morning, so that's why he wasn't feeling good. Because I said
both. Oh, Fizz, you're muted. Fizz, you're muted. Yeah. Oh no.
I hit my mic. My bad.
The last thing the audience ever heard was diarrhea, and then ended the stream.
I got diarrhea on the microphone. But anyway, Kyler Murray said he had diarrhea and he wasn't feeling good. And I kept hearing he had an illness. But Rock, I kept saying, bro, if they go out there and they stink up against the Saints, I don't want to hear nothing about no illness, nothing. This team is hot garbage. And even though they kind of kept it in a close range, I will say Kyler, I guess, did what he was supposed to do. So the close game wasn't necessarily on him. But when you go to the Saints side, Spencer Rattler, 46 attempts, 27 completions. We're not going to brag about his game, but Jawan Jennings going out there and pretty much stealing the show, man, at the number one tight end receiving spot, 76 yards, 8 receptions on 11 targets, Rock. So he was the guy next to Olave that Rattler said, listen, man, you tall, you got muscles, I'm going to throw it to you. And he caught the ball most of the time. We're not going through the whole game because Alvin Kamara kind of had a, I guess, average game. But Juwan Johnson, to me, was just a guy I wanted to highlight because nobody expects nothing from this Saints offense, right? Nothing. Like every week, Juwan might not catch one pass next week. But for this week, we're going to give him his flowers. And he led the team in receiving yards, in receptions. And for a young quarterback like Rattler, who might be rattled at times during the game, you're going to look for your big tight end, man. So you got Juwan Johnson, congratulations, because you definitely got a steal in your draft. I think every week he's going to be the most consistent guy on this team. What you think about Juwan? And then you could jump into your two guys. You got Harold and Fanning, man. Mm-hmm. I said Harold and Fanning. Harold and Warren, man. I'm going to let you get on the boat. Which one you got, though?
I'm trying to find, there's a graphic out there. Did you see how many alerts about Chris Olave going in and out of the game? I think it was literally like 8 times where Chris Olave was literally taken out of the game and going back in the game. It was wild. And I was like, oh God, it's like that. Well, he got killed. He got hit in the chest. And then he kept going back in and out, in and out, in and out. The same thing happened with Puka too. Puka Nacua.
Well, Puka, bro, his eye was bleeding. Like literally, he had blood coming down his face.
Before I forget, Puka Nacua, he had an insane game. He had, let me see, 130 yards on 10 catches. You know how many routes he ran? This is the craziest thing. How many routes would you guess that he did that production? He had 10 catches, 130 yards. How many routes do you think he ran?
I'm not going to lie, bro. Because he went out for that concussion, then he came back. He didn't miss the whole game. He was in the whole game. He went out
multiple times. He also went out multiple
every time
times.
He came, bro, he was in the game. I can't even give you no routes because he was in the whole game, bro. I don't make me guess that. You just let me know what it was.
He only ran 23 routes.
For real? No, you know what? But he did a lot of blocking, though. He was blocking, too, most of the game, too. He was out there blocking a lot.
He only ran 23 routes. I got 130 yards.
Bro, I would have told you he was lying if I wasn't on the show. I wouldn't have believed that.
Isn't that insane? That's absolutely crazy. But Juwan Johnson,
he deserves his own show. Let's go ahead and get on to the tight ends. But shout out Puka, baby. That's my dog right there.
Shout out Puka. We can't, even when we're talking about tight ends, we can't help but talk about our guy Puka. But yeah, Juwan Johnson looks like the only thing that Rattler or Shuck are going to be able to pass to is Juwan Johnson. Because Chris Olave, he's going to live. He might as well just open up an apartment in the blue medical tent. He might as well just live there. That's who he's going to be at for half the season at least. And Rashid Shaheed, I mean, he had 9 targets. He had 33 yards. It's just going to look like a very bad offense. If you have Alvin Kamara, also too, those jerseys they were wearing looked like dog shit. That's the reason why they played as bad as they did.
It looked like those ugly, honey mustard Jaguars jerseys that they used to wear back when Blake Bortles and all them was there. They was horrible, bro.
Like, look at my hat. Like, it looks fine if it's in a small amount. I'm not going to wear a shirt that looks like that. You know what I mean? Or a jersey. This is too
ugly.
much.
They was ugly.
So, but Tyler Warren and Harold Fannin.
The rookie debuts, man. Them rookies showed out this week, Rock.
They did. Unfortunately, Colson Loveland was nowhere to be found. He was another guy who.
Yeah, that's your guy, man.
But Michael Pittman and Tyler Warren, they led both the Colts. So Michael Pittman had 80 yards. Tyler Warren had 76. It looks like it's going to be an even split. Man, Josh Downs had a tough game. He only had 12 yards, Fizz. But Tyler Warren, he looked pretty damn good. Harold Fannin, though, he set records. So Harold Fannin, oh, man, I wish I would have. I just escaped my memory, his production that he had. But yeah, he set some sort of record for. I gotta look it up.
I can give you a stat line if you want to need a stat line.
No, I gotta use ChatGPT or something.
Well, I say this while you do that. I forgot to bring one up, and I know we on the tight ends. We kind of back and forth, Rob. But we forgot to talk about JSN and the receivers, man. JSN literally had, I believe, while you look that up, Rob, give me 1 second. JSN, Sam Darnold literally just didn't throw the ball to nobody, bro. He threw the ball to JSN and JSN only. And the reason why I made me remember it was because, remember I said COOKUP was going to have a better season than Chris Olave.
I found it.
I don't know about that one, Rob.
He had the most receptions by a rookie tight end in their NFL debut. So, I mean, he ended up being the tight end 3 on the week.
With Njoku on the same team. That's the crazy part to me.
Yeah, he had 7 receptions for 63 yards. So I guess that's the best that any rookie's ever done. So pretty wild. So yeah, I loved Fannin coming out. And then he had a subpar combine. So I was like, oh no.
Yeah, that's what dropped him, the combine, for sure.
And then he went to the Cleveland, and I'm like, oh no.
Yeah, it's even worse.
And then it's just like, oh wait, he's cooking in preseason. I'm like, everyone's drafting him super high, and I'm like, I don't know if I can get on this train. I know he's a great prospect. He really popped them. It was Tyler Warren, Colson Loveland, and Harold Fannin. Those were my top 3 tight ends. But it was hard for me to buy into it, and now it's too late, Fizz. The next time I'm going to have a chance for it, I'm going to have to draft them really high in startups next year. So.
Yeah, and I see a couple of questions. I got them queued up, start up. We're going to get through these lists, and we're going to get at y'all, man. You know we got you. But, Rock, man, I know these are the fallers. These are the uglies. But these are the what the hellies, man. What the hell is going on with these dudes right here, man? Hold up. No. What the hell is going on, man? You see Tua. First of all, Tua looks like Brucey from the longest yard anyway.
Why does he look so damn happy right there? I like Joe Burrow's face right there.
Yeah, they looking
and
good.
CJ Stroud looks like he's just gearing up for
he look like, man,
season.
Save me, get me out of here, get out. That's what it looked like. The way his offensive line look, Rock, man, good luck to CJ Stroud. But we're gonna keep it moving with these horrible QB performances. Pops brought it up earlier. It's the time to put a plug on Tua. I don't even know if he's even plugged in right now, Pops. I'm not gonna lie to you. Tua looks.
You're gonna have to get a whole new router. You gotta go to Best Buy and get a whole different one.
Remember when the quarterback name McDaniels was so cool. Everybody liked. He had his shades on, the sweatsuit. Everybody thought he was the coolest guy. He looked like a stoner on the sideline, right? Yeah, he's really stoned, bro. And I know our theme today was we got high off of all these L's that we were taking. This is the biggest smoker right here. This guy McDaniels, man, out there in Miami. He's a joke. I don't know what they got going on. It's definitely Brucey time, Mitchell. That's for sure. Tua, Burrow, CJ, man. Let me know something, Rock. How you feeling about him? We know week 1, Joe Burrow seems to be non-existent. He never shows up. Jamar Chase had one of the worst games of his career. Yeah, let us know, man. And before you get into that, I will say I did tell you live on demand that the Browns were going to beat the Bengals, and it seemed like they did not want me to win that, Rock. They didn't want me to win that at all, brother. So the Browns pretty much beat the Browns because the Bengals didn't beat them. But let me know about these QBs, man, and what we got going on with them, bro.
So I did find that graphic. I put it in the StreamYard chat. You can just take a look at it. It's pretty insane. It's pretty hilarious.
Man, you're right.
Look at all those times So unless you're going to put that, you could put that on the screen maybe at one point. Let me go through these QB stats. Tua, he won 14 of 23, 114 yards. He had 1 touchdown, 2 picks, 51.7 rating. If he keeps playing like he does, where he only gets Tyreek Hill 40 yards and Jalen Waddle 30 yards, 70 combined yards for your 2 elite pass catchers, Fizz, man, it's going to go from bad vibes to apocalyptic in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
If they do not get their shit together, McDaniels is going to be out before the bye week. He's going to get his ass fired.
When is the bye week? Because they might be bye after this week, the way it's looking.
So that looked pretty terrible. I can't believe this. Talk about bold predictions. Man, Cincinnati versus Cleveland. Joe Burrow, 113 yards. That has to be a career low. T. Higgins, no fan, had more receiving yards. He tied with Jamar Chase.
Scored a touchdown. That's when I knew it was like, what is going on out here, man?
Noah Fant and Jamar Chase were second and third with both 26 yards passing or receiving, Fizz. So there was one
Brown averaged 2 yards a carry, bro. 21 rushes for 43 yards, bro.
I don't know if Cleveland's defense is just that good, or this is like one of the worst offensive performances I've ever seen with Joe Burrow.
Did you see that drive, Rock, when Joe Burrow got sacked 3 times in a row? Myles Garrett got 2 of them. They thought he had the third one, but it was
one hit by Myles Garrett where he just comes out of nowhere and he goes through Joe Burrow. That was absolutely crazy. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Get this guy off the field before he died.
Like I said, the Cincinnati Bengals mentioned not to win this game. I said Cleveland Browns were going to beat them, and I truly believe Cleveland Browns beat themselves. They still didn't lose to the Bengals. But C.J. Stroud, man, out of these 3, we went through Tua, went through Burrow. C.J. Stroud, man, Nico Collins was non-existent. He was on the Jamar Chase radar in a sense, right? A guy that we thought was going to break fantasy for us, did nothing. Joe Mixon looked okay. He looked competent, but this offense just looked as a whole, man, it looked bad, right? It looked like lost, confused, and that offensive line couldn't hold up to save their life, man.
I'm going to name all the wide receivers that were top in receiving. So you had Higgins at 32. You had Hutchinson at 30. You had Schultz at 28. You had Watson at 27. You know whose name I didn't say, Fizz?
Nico Collins.
Nico Collins only had 3 catches for 25 yards on 5 targets.
Crazy, man.
Everyone was talking about they were hyping up their new OC. What's his name? Haley? I don't remember what the hell his name is. It don't matter. It's what the hell he is, what it is. Because everyone was saying, oh, this guy is going to be way better than the last OC that they had. You couldn't have had a worst starting week 1.
Yeah.
That was terrible. I mean, when Nick Chubb is like your best offensive player, as much as I love Nick Chubb, who had 60 yards, absolutely appreciate that and his performance. But yeah, CJ Stroud was second on the rush 32. He had only 188 yards passing. He had 1 interception, 0 touchdowns. So yeah, not good. So when everyone was saying that
whatsoever.
When everyone was putting CJ Stroud in the 20s on underdog, I was like, look at this great value. And now I'm like,
you see why?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes when you take other people's garbage, it's not always your treasure. Sometimes it's just garbage. So it's only week 1.
It is. We
don't want to overreact.
Yep.
But it's not a good look week 1. So they have a chance and an opportunity, Fizz, to show us what they're really made of in week 2, week 3, week 4.
Yeah, that's true, man. And we just kind of talked about these guys in that segment. I had Nico and Chase as our fallers, stinkers. 2 of the worst receivers that we banked on to come through. And CD Lamb is receiver 1, man. Just remind y'all of that. And hey, man, we got to get to the tight ends, Rock. It was some ugly performances, but at the tight end position, I think there's only one guy to me, Rock, that I could say. No, you know what? I'm sorry. We got more receivers to talk on. I've totally
just real quick. We got the Bengals receivers.
you put the whole team on. That's
Dolphins.
What threw me off. Yeah.
The Dolphins, dog shit. The Lions, terrible.
The
Philly,
Eagles.
Fizz. Did you see how many receiving yards between Devontae Smith and AJ Brown had?
Got to be like 21 yards or something.
it was absolutely awful. Here, let me see just real quick. Jahan Dotson had 49 or 59. Dallas Goedert had 44. Devontae Smith and AJ Brown combined for 24 yards.
Yeah, that's what I said. 29. Yep. Bad, bro.
Absolutely terrible.
And nobody started Jahan Dotson, so don't act like you did. So let's just go ahead and move on from them.
Exactly.
And Terry McLaurin didn't have his best game either. That was kind of to be expected. He didn't play all offseason, all preseason.
More than 27 yards. Though. Come on.
Yeah, true too. That's true too. So, but when we think about tight ends, though, Rock, I think of one guy in particular that didn't show up. I know we have a couple. But man, this one right here hurt the most, Rock. My boy Mandrews, the one who I always draft because I keep saying people hate on him so much. He's going to come through. And I get it. Zay Flowers had a coming out party, so maybe it wasn't Andrews' time. But man, just to kind of redeem yourself against what you did in the playoffs against Buffalo and drop that pass, I just thought Andrews' touchdown at least was just going to come because we got to get that Andrews juju out of the building from the playoff loss. You know what I'm saying? So I know Chiga Concord didn't do jack. Coastal Loveland didn't do nothing. Theo Johnson didn't do nothing.
Oh, my God. Theo Johnson didn't do
you just
one catch for 5 yards. It's all the ones that we hyped up. I had to make sure that we're on here, but there was nobody. There's nobody that broke my heart, Fizz, like Mark Andrews. He had one catch on one target for 5 yards.
Yeah, man. I feel like at least I could have lived with one catch and a touchdown. I just feel like he needed to get past that playoff loss, man. I really thought they was going to emphasize that and get him something.
I think maybe I don't know. It's only week 1, Fizz. I do want to see him turn it around, but I'm just going to say in that game at least, Zay Flowers, DeAndre Hopkins, and Rashad Bateman, those are all guys that were running at just maximum speed. They were running on all cylinders. They were the go-to guys for Lamar Jackson. They were dialed in. Mark Andrews was not dialed in with Lamar Jackson. So that's the reason why he didn't look his way outside of that one target and that one catch. So it is what it is. Not everyone's going to be able to eat. So it's unfortunate.
I'm over here trying to type on this screen and then this screen moving. My bad. Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, it's week 1. We can't go crazy over it, Rock. But we will talk about one last guy. He's not a loser. He's the ultimate winner, and that is my boy, Kyle motherfucking Pitts, man. You know what I'm saying, Rock? Come on, man. You know how my dog got down. And don't get me wrong, he didn't break no records. I'm over here trying to pull up his stat line now. He didn't break no records. He didn't wow the people. But for me and my purposes of always hyping my dog up, he did what he's supposed to do. And I said before the game, if you give me 5 catches, 60 yards, and a touchdown, unbelievable. He didn't give me the touchdown, but he got 7 receptions on 8 targets, 59 yards. And the biggest thing was, Rock, when I looked at Drake London only had 7 receptions too. So he had similar receptions to Drake London, and he had the 59 yards, which was right where Drake London was too. So it pretty much showed me that Darnell Mooney didn't play, so maybe that could change things next time. But I just wanted to see my boy Kyle Pitts go in there, be competent, catch the ball, get targets, but also leave that game with people saying, all right, he ain't stink it up. You know what I'm saying? And he did that. He checked all boxes. We don't expect the tight end 500-yard games. But shout out my boy Kyle Pitts, man. You know I got to bring that up, man. And that was Kyle Pitts Sr., Rock. So, you know, we got to put that on there too, man. Put some respect on the kids, man.
Yeah, it definitely was good to be able to see Kyle Pitts finally just not throw in another stinker, not continue to break your heart, Fizz. So it was good to be able to see that. And especially if Drake London does miss next week, we should expect Kyle Pitts.
And guess what, Rock? They play Sunday night, prime time.
Who are they playing?
They play I just had it. Vikings Sunday night.
All right, Kyle Pitts is going to get like 2 catches for 5 yards. He's going to do shit against them.
Come on,
enjoy
man.
it while it lasts, Fizz. It is what it is.
I'm gonna enjoy it. You know, I'm gonna enjoy it, man. So shout out my boy Kyle Pitts, and those are our risers, our fallers. In case you missed it, man, you can go back and watch that. But what the hell are you doing if you missed it? And also, for those that's just joining, we appreciate you. If you watch on any other platforms, man, X or I don't know what else we got plugged in, but come over on YouTube, man. Shout us out. Give us that plug. Give us that like and that subscribe, baby, and we will shout you out and show you some love, as always. I do got some comments I got to start up, Rock, but, man, before we get up out of here, man, we going to talk about this week coming up, man. Week 2, week 1 is in the books. A lot of 1-0s, a lot of 0-1s, man, but week 2 is here, Rock. Thursday night, we got them Commanders and them Packers. What screen you on, right? You want like this or you want like that? How we doing it, brother?
I kind of like this one.
Okay.
I kind of like it. So we can keep it the way it is.
We
don't want to hit too many bells and whistles and take the whole show down, Fizz.
There we go. I ain't mad at that. Well, we got the Commanders and the Packers. We just talked about how the Packers defensive line looks crazy. Commanders coming off a division win. Well, both teams division wins, 1-0 right now. What we expecting out of this, man, from the real game and a little bit of fantasy with it? We're going to give a little bit of fantasy takes with the real game. We're going to shoot through a couple of these. Let me know.
I want to see Jaden Daniels after what the Packers just did to the Lions offense. We had all these star-studded players. We had J-Mo, we had Amon-Ra St. Brown, we had Jahmyr Gibbs. They got completely shut down, Fizz. So I want to see if Jaden Daniels against this Packers defense now with Micah Parsons not only survives, but at least can look competent. I want to see some magic from Jaden Daniels. I want to see Terry McLaurin get his shit together, get more than 27 yards. I want to see Deebo Samuel survive more than 3 snaps, especially if he gets hit by Micah Parsons and doesn't get hit into last year, Fizz. I want to see a close game. And I want to see also, too, Matthew Golden. He embarrassed me. I told him to start him over Ricky Pearsall. I was excited for Golden. I thought he was going to be the wide receiver 1 by a landslide. Man, all right, Fizz, before I forget, have you ever seen the ending scene of Usual Suspects when you find out that Kaiser Sose, when he's walking outside of that police precinct and his walk actually starts changing, he looks healthy again? That's what I thought of with Jaden Reed, who was in a boot not even a week ago. He looked like...
I'll give you one even better. When Kevin Nash came in and he was in a wheelchair and then he put his leg up and it was just a fake cast leg on the wheelchair. He got up out of it.
That's what I was thinking of with Jaden Reed, who had an awesome game. He looked like he wasn't hurt whatsoever. It was all bullshit. It was a total fugazi. You got us, Jaden Reed. I was happy to see you be a productive wide receiver because you get misused and hated on probably more so than a lot of other wide receivers for how talented you are. So I loved seeing Jaden Reed be able to do that, but I want to see Matthew Golden. I want him to take that step up. I don't want to have to wait till the end of the year. I want to see both of them be a dynamic duo. Tucker Kraft looked awesome. Josh Jacobs is awesome. But I want to see the Commanders. I want to see them challenge the Green Bay Packers. So it looked like they could run away as one of the best teams in the NFC, maybe in the whole NFL, Fizz.
I like that one, bro. I'm going to let you keep that game. I'm going to just go to the next game, and we just go game for game. I'm going to give you your game, though. I got a particular game I wanted you to break down because I have a guy that we didn't mention today all day. So I was going to do the Giants and the Cowboys. I believe the Cowboys will win that one. I'm going to do the Jets and the Bills. And looking at what we just did last week with the Jets versus the Steelers and then the Bills versus the Ravens. Hey, man, Justin Fields versus Josh Allen, man. 2 guys that can run the ball whenever they want. It looks like Justin Fields is finally going to throw the ball maybe a little more than what we thought. And I don't think this is a division game where we can just say the Buffalo Bills are locked in to win this game. I know they're the better team. I know they're coming in off of a high of beating the Baltimore Ravens after being down with 5 minutes left by 15 points. But if the Jets can actually play the way they played against the Steelers and just not end the game in a bad note, they can go out there and put up 40 points against this Buffalo defense, Rock. And I truly believe – go ahead.
Do you think that the Bills, because they were playing the Ravens, they played the best game like of all time I've ever seen in Josh Allen? Do you think they're going to take a step backwards and play more at a normal level against the Jets and keep the Jets in there? Or are the Bills going to continue that momentum from Sunday night? And if they play like they did against the Ravens, the Jets are going to get absolutely destroyed. The Jets are going to crash down, and I don't think it's going to look good if they play at that level, because the Bills, they played an amazing game on Sunday, Fizz. So.
I mean, the Jets did too, though, bro. That's what I'm saying. It ain't like the Jets didn't either. But what I'm saying is, I think a lot of time when you play a game like you did against the Ravens, bro, that takes a lot out of you as a team, man. Like mentally, physically. And the Jets coming off of a game that they should have won, but knowing that we not there yet, we still working towards things. I can't say that Buffalo will lose. I'll just say if we saw another Jets versus Steelers type of game where it's back and forth, neck and neck, and the Bills win on the last drive, I see that more so than Buffalo just spanking them and putting belt their ass against the Jets, bro. I don't see it.
The one thing I'll say as far as players go, I want to see Keon Coleman have another great game.
Yep.
And I want to see Justin Fields not panic. I want to see him play like he did for most of last week. He didn't look as good in his last couple of drives when the game was getting away.
And
things were starting to crumble around him, and he wasn't able to elevate his team above the circumstances, same way Josh Allen did. But I want to see him have another solid performance. I want to see Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, that whole trio have another good game.
So I just say this, I didn't even realize that James Cook had 100 yards, bro, last week. I didn't even realize it. That's how fun the game was. That Derrick Henry, I thought he had 500 and nobody else ran nothing. It
was only James Cook. Ray Davis didn't really do anything. Ty Johnson was involved a lot more than I thought he would be. That was kind of crazy.
Justice Hill had minus points, so that just lets you know what everybody else is doing at running the ball. And Rashid Ali, where did he come with? They our boy,
because he's the returner. It's because there's another L that I took.
Mitchell, bro, that was tough.
Because you're not going to go into a game with 4 RBs, Fizz. So Keaton Mitchell was the odd man out because Rashid Ali gets the special teams.
Yeah.
So I remember on sit start, are you going to go with Keaton Mitchell or are you going to go with Kyle Williams? Me and EV went with Keaton Mitchell. Mike and Coop went with Kyle Williams. Luckily, Kyle Williams only had 1 catch for 12 yards. So you were going to be screwed either way with whoever you started. Do you want 1.2 points or do you want 0 points? That's basically what it came down to. But yeah, Keaton Mitchell, odd man out because he doesn't play special teams. So it is what it is.
All right. Well, this next game, Rock, I wanted to bring up to you specifically because this is the Seattle Seahawks, man, versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. I know you was high on Sam Darnold. You was high on Kenneth Walker. And, man, both of those guys, man, last week, Ken Walker, man, looked like Charbonnet might, I don't know, Vince McMahon I don't know, man. It ain't looking good for your boy Ken right now, man. We know what we just saw from Aaron Rodgers, him wanting to continue keeping this ball rolling, the slow pace offense that they can't possibly play because we know the Seattle Seahawks offense is going to be slow paced. They want to run the ball. They don't want to score 45, 50 points. So I think this is a perfect game for Aaron Rodgers to keep building and not have to outscore the other team over and over on each drive. So if I had a bet on the team to win, I would say the Steelers by a landslide to me because I think Aaron Rodgers is going to go out there and play how he really wants to play versus how he was forced to play against the Jets. And Sam Darnold just didn't look good, bro. He looked bad all across the board. He didn't throw the ball to nobody else but JSN and I think like 3 receivers. And
JSN had a 54% target share, Fizz. It was absolutely insane. He was one of the best wide receivers in the week. Where was your dude Cooper Kupp? Is he on a milk carton somewhere? I didn't see him anywhere. If they have, it looked bad. It looked bad. So
it was bad, bro.
It was bad for my dude Walker. It was bad for Cooper Kupp, man. It was just bad all around. But I will say this,
everybody, man.
I will say this. I think with Robert Saleh back in San Francisco as their DC, I think the 49ers are going to be back to where they were a couple of years ago, where Nick Bosa was one of the best defensive players in the entire NFL. They shut down. They didn't let the Seahawks do whatever they wanted. They wanted to establish the run to open up the pass with play action. Since they couldn't establish the run, they couldn't really open up the pass, Fizz. If you can't do that, then it's going to affect the whole offense. And those are the only 2 cards that they had. And the 49ers shut that down. So that's why it looked as bad as it did. But I will say this. The Seahawks defense, pretty damn good.
They're good.
That's going to be the calling card, the cornerstone of the Seahawks team with Mike Macdonald as their head coach. So I don't think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to run away with this. We do want to see it's going to be a revenge game for DK Metcalf.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I didn't even bring that up. Damn.
So that's going to be the storyline for me. I want to see DK Metcalf. I want to see him have an amazing game, and I want to see Caleb Johnson, dude. Caleb Johnson,
man. King of Gainwell had eight rushes, bro.
He had one.
Arthur Smith at his finest, bro.
He had one rushing attempt for -2 yards and a fumble. So he was, of all the RBs that's had his stats in fantasy football, Caleb Johnson was at the very bottom. Justice Hill was right above him, and not too high above him, unfortunately, was my guy Cam Scatabo, who he did get some receiving yards. Luckily, that saved his day. But as far as rushing goes, he also had negative rushing yards for this. So not good for the two rookie RBs I was super excited about. Not good for Kenneth Walker. I'm looking for all these guys to bounce back in week 2, Fizz.
No, I'm looking forward to it too, bro. But I forgot about that revenge game. But again, to my point, Aaron Rodgers knowing that DK Metcalf has a revenge game against his old team, nobody takes revenge games more personal than Aaron Rodgers. We just heard him say that against the Jets. I think the DK Metcalf, if he was going to have a blow-up game, this is the week right here. I'm going to bet on it, baby. So I'm going to just lock it in for the Steelers to win that one. Another game I can throw out there to you, Rock. Let's go to Bears and the Lions, man. Bears and the Lions. We just saw what happened last night. We saw the Lions kind of, I don't even know if they was even roaring out there in Green Bay. So
they're both wounded animals right now.
100%.
After what just happened to them on national prime time too.
Yeah. Lions, Tigers, Bears. Oh no, we're not scared of none of them. You know what I'm saying? So I would just say this might be has game of the week potential in a sense. NFC North division game. Let's imagine with the Lions, Rock. You lose to the Packers and the Bears, 0-2 in the division. That's going to be tough to do. And the Bears, they play the Vikings. So to lose 2 division games, and that I'm saying, looking, Rock, at this schedule, it's a lot of Cowboys and the Giants. This is a must-win for that team, the Cowboy side. A lot of division games locked in right here. That's 0-2 or 0-1 right now. So
they're almost all division games. Like half the games in the slate are all division.
Yeah, the Patriots and the Bills, and Dolphins, Jets, and the Bills. Yeah. So when you look at though the Bears and the Lions, though, Rock, I look at it as I think this is more of a must-win for the Lions, especially coming off of a loss the way you lost. And just them being the alpha in the division for the last couple of years. I know the Bears are up and coming, and I do have them going to the playoffs. But I think they have a little bit of juice, man. I think they just need to get that win. Matter of fact, no, take this back, Rob. That's what I said. This is a revenge game. Ben Johnson. How did I forget about that story?
That's what I was about to say.
Scratch that, bro. Scratch that. Let's go to
Ben
Bears.
Johnson. If Ben Johnson does not win this game,
let's go to the Bears.
I am in fear of Caleb Williams' life from Ben Johnson. Can you imagine how bad that whole next week of practice and watching film is going to be? Can you imagine just Ben Johnson looking like right next to Caleb Williams, like he's going to kill his ass? He's like, I can't believe he did this shit. He looks scary. I'm kind of scared for Caleb Williams. I hope that the Bears win this game. But
I hope so too. Now that you say it like that, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. I ain't even think of it like that.
But also too, like I love Jared Goff. So
let's go for a tie, baby. Let's go for a tie. Let's just hope they tie this game, man. And
oh my god,
give us our first tie.
Is this going to be our whole season, or it's just like I love this guy?
Yeah. That is. We like a lot of different teams, man. We got, I see Rendon. We got you, Playboy. Right at the end, after we get through these games, I started up a lot of these questions. We're gonna get y'all right before we get out of here.
Pick one last one. Let's try to
one last one. Okay, all right. One last one. No, I gotta get two, Rock. I gotta get two.
Make it quick. Let's make it quick.
Chiefs and the Eagles. We got to talk about that one. Chiefs and the Eagles.
Oh my god!
I take that back. The Eagles should probably go win. The only day we needed to talk about that. Do we need to talk about that one?
Why does Xavier Worthy and Rice both have to be out for this game?
I know,
this is not going to be a game.
I know. Well, I'm gonna say this. Shout out my boy Voorhees. He's a Chiefs fan. He said, "Bro, listen, we've been to Super Bowl. We won 3. We've been so many times. We can take 1 year to lose. It's okay. Like we don't have to win every year. And I'm gonna be honest, I like that, Rock. And this is why.
Don't.
This is why, Rock. Listen, they've been winning the Super Bowl and going to the Super Bowl with teams that shouldn't have won anyway. They've been going off of just Pat Mahomes being locked in. When you go roster for roster, the Ravens are literally better than them on every position to me. When you go to the Bills, I think the Bills have a better. The Chiefs have been going on a limb and a prayer every year, and they've been winning it, right? And they keep. It's an illusion, Rock. Listen to me. It's an illusion. I say this about my team. When you keep winning games that you shouldn't win, it's an illusion, bro. Sometimes you have to just get popped in the mouth and then come back. Because when you keep winning with how they win it, Rock, it's not a. It looks good when you get the championship, you get the AFC championship, you get the Super Bowl. I get all that. But when you're a team that really needs help, like the Kansas City Chiefs really need help right now, bro. I don't think that them going to the playoffs and winning and going to the AFC championship and then losing is going to help them. I think they just need to get punched in the mouth and then get right back in 2026 and boom. It's almost like how we play Dynasty. And I'm not comparing this to the NFL, but when you know your team ain't that good, you're like, man, I'm going to go ahead and sit this one out, coach. And I'm saying the Chiefs should do that because they're getting paid millions of dollars. I'm just saying if they don't go out there and win, people should look at this as, oh my God, the Chiefs are over with. They finally didn't win the AFC championship. Rob, I'm going to say this is my last point. Imagine being so good that if you miss the AFC championship, people are going to dog you and drag your name in the mud for a whole summer. Imagine being that good.
Well, Fizz, I'm going to ask you just a couple questions.
Go ahead.
Patrick Mahomes, is he the best QB in the NFL?
100%.
Andy Reid, is he the best coach in the NFL?
Top 2 for sure.
Are you going to go to a lion who's the king of the jungle and you're going to tell him you're not a lion? I don't want you to be the king of the jungle anymore. Well, I don't want you to rule.
Okay, I knew you were going to say that. I got you. But I'm going to say this.
So going to Andy Reid.
Say that. I'm not saying the team should say that. I'm saying from a fan's perspective. I'm coming from a fan. If I'm a fan, I don't think that we good enough to win the Super Bowl. I don't want us to go.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because whenever you have Patrick Mahomes, whenever you have a Michael Jordan, whenever you have a LeBron James, even whenever you have a Ray Lewis, Fizz, there is only one expectation, and that is to go out and win,
I'm with you.
Dominate, take people's souls away, and make them believe that they have no chance in hell to be able to beat you. You saw Patrick Mahomes. He was chirping. Even during that game that they lost, he said,
I don't think he's going to lay down. I don't think he's going to lay down against the Eagles. I think he's going to go out there and try to blow.
You don't tell a lion not to hunt. You don't tell a shark not to hunt either. You don't tell these alpha predators who are at the top of the food chain to do anything less than what their nature is. So that's what their nature is, and that's what I expect from them.
Hitman.
We got it. That's how we gonna close the games, baby. I was gonna go to another game. That's all we need for them games. My dog just set it off. You feel me? I like that one, Rob. I will say, from a fan, I get where I'm coming from, but from a dog, I get where you're coming from. And I like winning, baby. So we're going to keep winning because we dogs. Shout out to you. Shout out to us. Shout out to South Harmon Vibes. And shout out the whole team, baby. South Harmon, we in the building. Let's get to a couple of these questions and we're going to sign off, man. Rapid fire, my boy Cameron Myers. He said, he was bragging about moving Bill for 27 first. That's crazy work, bro. So shout out to you on that one because, wow.
Yeah.
27 first? That's tough.
Yeah, to have 4 next year and to have 4 the year after that, you are primed. If you do this right, Cam, if you do this right, you make your picks right, you don't do too many moves all at once, you're going to be setting yourself up for a juggernaut in 2027, 2028. So kudos to you.
I'm with you. Jay Smells in the building. He said, should he trade Jalen Warren for Javonte Williams? Oh, and Javonte
absolutely.
Williams.
Absolutely. This is one of those ones where as soon as I saw it pop up, Fizz, I was like, we need to stop this show. You need to, if this is actually in your inbox, you need to accept it like yesterday. Because Tedero McMillan, he's going to be the focal point of this offense. Jalen Warren and Javonte Williams, they're not top assets whatsoever. I almost feel like this is not a real trade.
It could be, man. I mean, looking at the big weeks they had, somebody could have an illusion like I'm done with the Panthers. You know how that happens, Rock? It happens every year. So I believe it's real.
Yeah, Tedero McMillan, he's going to be a top anywhere from 12 to 20 wide receiver every damn week, despite how things are dysfunctional in Carolina. I'm doing this yesterday, Fizz.
I'm with you, brother. I'm with you. Jay Smills had another one. He said Kenneth Walker for Hampton. Bro, I don't know if this is real, but listen, if this is an opportunity to do it, brother, I don't know. You don't ask us that. Just press accept, smash, do it, man.
Yeah, this is tough.
Right.
This is tough.
It's over with, baby.
It's only week one, Fizz. Come on, give him another chance.
But they showing us that they like Charbonnet too. And even though
he is good, Charbonnet is
Kenneth
good.
Walker still could, have a good season. They're showing us that
Kenneth Walker also has an injury history. Amari and Hampton, like that offense looks so good in Los Angeles. I would not hate on this. I'm just hoping that Kenneth Walker turns it around. I would not. Yeah, no shade to this trade because I also love Amari and Hampton. But yeah, Kenneth Walker, please get your shit together.
Live life in the Hamptons, baby. That's all I got to tell you, man. And my boy Randon, we're going to get at you. We're going to get up out of here. He said, should I trade Waddle for Judy? Full PPR, I do have Achane. I don't know if I want 2 Dolphins players on my teams.
Don't find someone else. Just don't do it for Judy. Don't go
it's 2 ugly offenses, bro. I ain't going to lie.
Don't go from one turd to another turd.
Yeah.
Just find somebody else that you can. Brendan, if you really love Jerry Jeudy, if he's like one of your favorite players, I can't share that same sentiment. Only do it for that reason. Trade for someone that you actually want. Don't just get turds off your team for other turds, because then you're still going to feel terrible.
I will say this. I'm going to roll with Waddle because I trust Tua will start longer than Flacco. I think Tua pretty much they're going to ride or die with him.
I don't know about that. Maybe that can be a bold take, Fizz.
Maybe. I don't know. But I'm going to roll with Waddle, man. I'm going to go with the youth. I'm going to go with the guy who the franchise. I don't know, man. Just close your eyes, Brendan. You're making my head hurt with this one, brother. I ain't gonna lie. I'm going to go with
this is the only thing that's tough. When teams fire their head coach, one of two things can happen. The team gets better or it gets way, way worse somehow because the team just gives up. Would you be surprised if Tua and Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle just completely the only person on his team, I've been saying this all offseason, Fizz, Achane is impervious to bad environments. He's like Malik Neighbors. No matter what happens, he's going to put up a game. He's going to have his stats. That's why I love Devon Achane, Fizz.
Well, they got the Patriots this week, man. I guess maybe you make the trade after this week, Brendan. We'll see, man. Hopefully for you get it done for one side or the other. But we will get up out of here, man. We appreciate y'all. Everybody was in the kitchen. It's week 1. We try and throw a different little look, man. We're trying to come up with new ideas, new ways to keep y'all involved. And one thing we do want to say about this show, we want this to be the space where you can come and give us your trades, give us your thoughts, but also we want to address the people. So I know we talking about the games and the stats, but we like kicking it with y'all, man. So hit them comments. Let us know what's on your mind, what games you want to hear us talk about next week, and what players you want us to get break down a little bit. And that's how we're going to keep it going, baby. So for further notice, this is the Cook Up. And Rock, man, give us that word of wisdom, Playboy, so we can get up out of here, man.
Fizz. If you can't predict what will happen, then dictate what won't happen to you. That comes from Ray Lewis on the latest podcast he did. That was an awesome interview. I missed my guy. He's played a huge role in my life. So yeah, absolutely love whenever Ray Lewis, when he gives us those words of wisdom. That's a word of wisdom from him. Really appreciate you guys. Week 1 of football is in the books. Looking forward to week 2. And cooking up with you guys all season long.
That's it, baby. So on that note, Rock, into week 2, we won't have a show tonight. This is the first Tuesday in a while that we won't have a every week Tuesday. We working on what we're going to do for that. But y'all let us know what y'all want to see. We will get to the drafts at the end of the month. But for right now, we're going to come up with something, man, once we get in the kit and get in the lab and mix some ingredients together. So until then, man, signing off. We be back here next Tuesday. But before we go, Rock, let's go ahead and run through the list, man. Give everybody a list, a shout out of everything we got going on right now. You was on the star shit on Sunday. We got 5,000 podcasts going on right now. I think
we got the grind. Adam and Evie. We got Grind the Edge. Lots of grinding shows, Fizz.
Hey,
every week. We got America's Game. with EV. We got the pipeline with Mike and Xbox. If you're into college football, you can't watch all these damn games all the time, they got you covered with that. We got the redraft channel with EV and with Maddie. And on that redraft channel, we're going to have the start shit every week. I'm going to be defending my champion crown. Last year, I was the best one, and I want to try to do that. Mike's coming in. He thinks that he can be better at start shit than me. We'll see about that, Mike. So I'm going to be coming out with I'm grading all the stats right now from week 1, but we're going to have you for all your lineup leagues on Start Shit. We have a whole bunch of different shows. Of course, we have the Cornerstone show on the YouTube channel with the Dynasty South Harmon, with AMA, with Mike, with Adam. We have a whole lot of different things. I'm getting into Photoshop Fizz and trying to figure that out. That shit is hard. That is hard, but I was able to cook up my first graphic for that first thumbnail. Felt pretty damn good about it. But yeah,
you had Brees Hall on it, but we're gonna excuse you for that one, brother. It's all good.
It looked pretty awesome, though, didn't it?
It looked fire. I ain't gonna lie to you. It looked fire.
Brees Hall, he had to escape that dark forest that he's been in the last 2.5 years. Yeah. Now he's in the sunshine. Happy to see that. But it was tough for Brees Hall for the last couple of years, Fit.
That's it, man. Well, look, we appreciate y'all coming through, man. Hit that like and subscribe. You know, we always going to holler at y'all, man. Leave them comments and just know, man, there's only week 1, baby. We going to keep it going. We going to keep it rolling. Until next time, Rob, let them know, man, what we got going on, brother. We out of this thing, huh?
Hey, they wrote me off, I ain't write them back. Follow me, but don't double tap. I ain't liking that. You subscribe, I monetize. Now who's striking that? Wanna see the contract? Who got the rights to that? This my story, I spent my whole life on that. Time's up. Shador Sanders with the rollie in the armor. I could do this shit with my eyes closed. The main attraction don't come at me with no side show. I'm selling high, they wanna buy low.